All right, welcome back, everybody, to On the Line, a fishing podcast, the show where we talk bass, baits, and big moments on from the water. I'm your host, Tony Boyden. Joined, as always, is my brother and co-host, Tim Boyden.
How's it going?
And tonight, we're bringing the heat from one of the biggest events of the year, the Kansas Kayak Anglers Championship at Wilson Lake. This was the finale where the best battled Kansas wind, clear water, and tough bites for the ultimate bragging rights. And we've got the top anglers from the showdown right here on the Line. Joining us tonight is your 2025 first place and big bass winner, angler of the year, and the king of kayaks himself, Clayton Westgate. What's going on, Clayton?
How's it going, guys?
Good. In second place at Wilson Lake, your AOI runner-up and the angler who lets his fish do the talking for him, Jay Schwartzkopf. Jay, what's going on? Nice to have you back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
In third place, an angler who turns every monthly tournament into a payday on the water, Matt Skucius, Mr. Monthly himself. And rounding out the top four, the anglers who, like our co-host, Tim, loses more big fish than I've ever seen, Deric Roberts.
I can show you some pictures.
And I'll give a shout out to my brother Tim, who got fifth, and I got sixth. And we were also able to manage a team win between him and I. So another team trophy for the wall back here. So good job, Tim.
Good job, Tony.
Just a few upcoming events before we dive into the championship recap. So there is the Kansas Bass Nation at Cedar Bluffs coming up October 18th and 19th. It's an open event. You just have to have your Bassmaster dues paid, your Kansas Bass Nation, and your Bass Nation. If you got questions, reach out to Todd Seagraves. This is director of that. There was no, like I said, there was no qualifying event, and anyone can do it as long as you have those things. It's a great lake. You got the opportunity to go. I highly suggest it. Excuse me. And then the Big Bass 250 at Lake of the Ozarks on October 25th, which is presented by Eco Fishing Shop. If you want to learn more about that, check out our last podcast where we talked to Travis Randall from Eco Fishing Shop. And also, if you're in the buying for a new kayak, check that one out too. He breaks everything down for you. So we got a few more things coming up in the next couple months. We're going to do a couple more shows, even through the cold weather. We'll keep you posted on those on the Kansas Kayak Anglers Facebook page. But right now, I'm going to turn it over to my brother Tim, where he's going to talk about the tournament and the recap at Wilson Lake.
Yeah, let's jump into it. This is like basically how the tournament unfolded. So Clayton, we'll kind of start with you, then Jay, then Matt, then Deric. So Clayton, what was your mindset going into the championship morning? Did you stick with your pre-fish plan, or did you change it on lunch?
Yeah, I did what I had planned on doing. It probably wasn't the smartest thing to do with the wind that we had. I just had an area that I went and pre-fished for a couple hours on Thursday, and I liked it. It looked like it should have good fish in it. I hooked and lost one good one and caught a couple other decent ones back there, and caught a small limit in the few hours that I had to fish it. And I didn't do a whole lot of fishing while I was back there. I just kind of ran around it real quick and graphed around, looked around. There was a lot of bait. I saw fish blowing up on bait back in there, and just kind of liked everything that I saw. I noticed from my couple of days of pre-fishing, it seemed like anything that really looked good, like it should have a lot of fish on it, didn't have a lot of fish on it for me. It was all the kind of small sand spots that had just a little bit of rock mixed in. And that was where I was catching most of my fish. That or rocks that were off the bank a little ways, little rock piles off the bank. And I had both of those, a few of both of those in that area. So I felt like that was going to be a good spot for me to go to. And I didn't think there would probably be very many people there because I knew it wasn't going to be easy to get to because of the wind. I thought it was going to be more protected than it was, but it ended up being, I guess, just manageable enough to get to.
Yeah, I watched the video, and you can tell when you're facing into the wind there. I mean, on video it doesn't do it justice, but I could see the waves coming in there, and they were 3-hour tour going on the song from Gilligan's.
I've got probably like a 5-minute video that I'm gonna post of me going through the waves on the way back in.
Oh, nice. Yeah, pretty crazy. Well, Jay, what about you? Did you have what was your mindset, and then did you stick with your pre-fish plan, or did you change it up, or with what you saw?
My main goal was to try to catch a limit. I didn't pre-fish. Like, I fished the All-American up there at the end of August, and that was pretty much the last time I fished the lake. Went up one time, maybe the week after the All-American, and looked at a different spot. But other than that, I didn't go at all. With the wind, I just figured I was going to go fish the south side and try to scrape together a limit. That's pretty much stuck to that.
Was your focus kind of on largemouth the whole time, or were you trying to get a smallmouth bite as well?
Mostly largemouth. I mean, if I got a smallie just by luck, I'm good with that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'd rather chase largemouth, I guess.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. Matt, what was your plan going into the tournament?
I did this day, fished the All-American, what was that, like 2 weeks before. Had planned on going in with the same plan of attack, fishing around the Lucas area, but I decided not to fight the wind, so I went to the opposite side of the lake, but kept the same game plan, just fishing the main points and fishing the rocks. So lucked out. Had a few boats come in on me, but besides that, didn't do too bad overall.
Nice. Did you ever go over to the Lucas ramp? Did you ever see, was it just too bad?
I never did.
Yeah.
I mean, I drove across the dam, and I seen the waves pounding on that shoreline over there, and I was like, I really don't want to deal with that. So
yeah, I don't blame you on that. It was pretty wild. Deric, what was your mindset going into the championship, and did you stick with your plan?
Well, I pre-fished on the south side. Didn't really catch too much. Got one good largemouth and one good smallmouth. So I really didn't have any idea what I was going to do. And then was going to launch with Clayton in that dirt spot, but the wind was just beating it up. So I changed my mind last minute and just went and fished over at I don't even know what the hell that boat ramp's called. Matt was there. But I wanted to fish Lucas. What's that?
Don't give up the juice.
Yeah. I wanted to fish the Lucas boat ramp because that's where I fished last year. And so I kind of knew that area a little bit. But, nothing went as planned.
Yeah.
Last minute, I just randomly went to that boat ramp and just prayed that nobody would be there. Because I knew that pocket would be protected right there. So.
And then you saw Matt and you knew you were in the right spot, didn't you?
Kind of like what he said. He's like, what'd you say? I'm not the only idiot that came over here or something.
Yeah.
Like, That's kind of how I felt. I was like, well, at least I'm not the only stupid one.
I pull in there and I see Clayton. I'm like, oh, I'm in the right spot. No. So
I kind of
wish
I would have went with Clayton, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad I didn't.
Yeah.
That wind.
It was pretty hairy.
It was windy where we were too. So, but
do you think your kayak could have taken the waves over there? Because it's a little wider, isn't it, than the old towns?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it could have. I went out into the main lake and we were on the north side, so that was getting hammered, and I went out in the middle, or not in the middle, but out of that pocket into the main lake, and I was fine. It's just not fun to fish in.
No,
it's like very hard to fish in. So.
All right. Hey, Tony, what about you? What was your game plan going in?
Follow you.
I just throw pictures to throw people off.
Honestly, I just I had a horrible 2 days of practice, but I didn't really feel like fighting the wind, so I went over by the marina, the wall, and fished one spot Tim told me about, and so I went over there and caught one, and then pretty much fished the wall back and forth out in front of the marina. Found a few places that were pretty decent. I kept catching fish on at least. I missed one that would have put me right up there with probably like Deric and Matt, but I didn't get it in. But hit a rock and cut the line. But everybody, I'm sure each one of us has a fish they lost. So, well, maybe not. But
I didn't lose any.
what about you, Tim?
Yeah, basically. I found 17 and a half, 18-inch smallmouths on rocky points, throwing a wacky rig, basically. And another bait I shall not name. But, yeah, I had a really good practice both days and actually had a pretty good tournament day, too. Just one fish off. And other than that, yeah, it went good for me. So I enjoyed it. Day 2, hopefully I would have got like 80 something because that's about what
I definitely would have won and beat everybody had there been a date.
Yeah, oh yeah, I would have definitely taken.
I
So,
would say for anybody watching, if you got questions for the anglers up here, Tim, myself,
Yeah.
Clayton, Jay, Matt, Deric, drop them in the comments or just say hello.
Yeah.
Love to hear from you.
So Clayton, let's go back to you. When the clock struck 7:30, what was the first bait you threw? If you want to give up that juice.
Well, I had about 10 or 15 more minutes to get to my spot once 7:30 got there.
Wow.
But once I got to where I could fish, I started throwing a spinnerbait, which I didn't catch fish on a spinnerbait the whole time. So it was really just I got to where I was a little bit protected, and that was something I thought maybe they would eat first thing in the morning. And I did have one fish hit it, but I don't even know if it was a bass. It might have been a white bass, but yeah. Other than that, I fished a Ned rig and mostly I just fished a Ned rig, but that and a little swim bait and a shaky head were what I caught all my fish on.
Nice. Very nice. I saw that one fish hit your spinnerbait and you kind of jerked it back on the rocks there as it came over. But did you catch any decent white bass? Because I caught some monster white bass out of there. Probably some of the biggest I've ever seen.
I didn't catch any on tournament day. I caught some big white bass on the south side on Friday in practice. I think I caught all those on Ned rig too. I caught one on a jerk bait also.
Nice.
You make your own shaky heads, don't you?
I make my own shaky heads and my own Ned rig heads and the swim bait head I was throwing.
Nice. I think you gave a few of those away in the prize packages.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't remember what all I put in them.
Well, Jay, what about yourself?
First bait I threw was a whopper plopper or chopo for 5 or 6 casts, and then threw an underspin for another 5 or 6, and neither one of those worked.
Yeah.
Just kept kind of cycling through. Started catching them on a Ned was the first thing I started catching anything on.
Nice.
So, additional question: do you switch out that fast, like at a regular fishing, or do you cycle through your baits that quick? Normally,
I don't cycle through that fast typically, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Wasn't
Seems like if
feeling
you're going to get hit right away on like a chopo or something, it's going to be in the first few casts. Is kind of my experience. And if you don't get it in the first few, I don't keep at it very long.
Okay. Well, Matt, I know you tried to get away, but and then you came back trying to get out of this question. But what was your first bait you threw?
Started off the morning with the Zara spook on the backside of the points where the water was kind of calmer than the windy side. Didn't have any bites, and I picked up a big Z-Man TRD and first cast, caught my first smallmouth, and I was like, okay, well, I can make this work. And then caught a few more and threw a crankbait, threw a spinnerbait, threw top water, just back and forth. It seems like I'd catch a fish and then have to move on, try something else. But I'd never hit the same bait twice in a row. So just kept rotating.
Okay. And Doug has a question here. Does the color of the Ned rig matter? And if it does, what factors affects the color that you choose? Clayton, do you want to answer that since you're kind of more the Ned rig guy there? And
I use chartreuse a majority of the time, especially around smallmouth. I feel like that. I just feel like smallmouth are kind of a curious fish naturally, and that little bit of chartreuse really seems to grab their attention. I use red quite a bit for largemouth. I don't think I carry any green pumpkin, black, anything like that. Mine are all. I've got chartreuse, red, blue, and pink.
really,
I don't
solid red, solid chartreuse, or like
Solid, yeah.
chartreuse?
They're all solid
Really?
colors. I don't have some of my weedless ones are green pumpkin or black, but all the standard Ned heads are all just bright colors.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I throw is black and green pumpkin. So I don't know. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but I think Ned was talking about Ned Katie was talking about how he likes to throw red, green, and like a aqua color more so.
Yeah.
Chartreuse green, and then I think he throws black too. But I don't know if it makes a difference, but if you're confident in it, it does.
Yeah, I think the confidence is the biggest part of it.
Yeah. Jay, do you think it makes a difference, the different colors you throw on the Ned rig?
I think it does make a difference. I throw chartreuse also, but I do throw more natural colors also. I throw a kind of a, I don't know, they call it like a magic craw. It's a kind of green with a blue pearl. I
Okay.
throw that a lot, and the one I was catching them on at Wilson was like a copper color. So, but I will throw red and chartreuse a decent amount too.
Okay. Matt, do you even throw a Ned rig?
Yeah, as far as color, just whatever's in the box at the time when I decide to throw it. So usually it's just a black head.
Okay. Very nice. Well, Deric, we'll go to you since we didn't get to you. What'd you throw at 7:30 when it struck 7:30? What was your first bait you got through?
I was throwing top water, a plopper bait.
Yeah.
And because I got a couple bites in practice on it, but I think I had like one little blow up on it, and then I gave up on it super quick and threw a Ned and hooked a giant, and it got me wrapped up in these boulders that I didn't even know were there until the daylight came out because I'd never fished that spot, and I got broke off by that one, and that was actually a chartreuse one that I got the bigger bite on. And being stupid, I went ahead and tied on, I think, a black one or a green one, and then put on like green pumpkin. And then I caught a 17. And so then I just kept fishing it. And then I never got any bigger bites. I should have switched back to the chartreuse one, though, but I never did. And then I just cycled through crankbaits and like 4 different colors of Neds throughout the day. Tried to tube a little bit, caught a cat flathead on it. I just kept catching white bass on the crankbait, and so I just basically just fished at 4 different colors of Neds all day long.
Interesting.
It was super fun. I like fishing a Ned, but not in 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah.
It's not too fun.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Tony?
I started out with a wacky rig, and caught a 16.5 largemouth right off about 10 minutes in to the tournament. So I threw that for a while until it got wrapped up and broke off everything, leader, line, everything, and that was I pretty much switched to my good old finesse jig and alternated through a couple different ones of those as they broke off in the rocks because I don't know, I think I broke off 3 or 4, but they were getting a bite, so I just stuck with it. So, and I was fishing back, came back out where off the walls, so Ned rig seemed to work for me. I was trying to get up close in little pockets and things where I could and drop off. So you?
Nice. Yeah, I started out with a wacky rig, got my first couple of fish on a wacky, and then I later in the day I went to a spinnerbait and caught my largemouth all on a spinnerbait. So up in like a foot of water. So it was a pretty good afternoon bite on the spinnerbait. But yeah, I had a good day. I can't complain. Clayton, how much were electronics a factor in your game plan, or was it a factor at all?
It was actually a pretty big deal for me. Live scope, especially. I was not looking at fish, but just finding the rocks that were off the bank a little ways. There's rocks everywhere out there, but if I could find any irregularities, it seemed like that was a really key factor in where I was finding my fish at. The spot where I caught my big one at was just it looked like just a sand bank with a little bit of rock mixed in with it, but there was a pretty good sized rock pile that went from 6 to about 4 foot on top of it, and that was probably 20 feet out off the bank. You couldn't see it at all from the surface. And the other spot that I caught several fish off of was just a rock vein that ran out to the water. It was just a few little like soccer ball sized rocks on the bank, and then ran probably 30 feet out to the water. And it looked like even some brush out on the end of it. And I caught smallmouth and a largemouth off of that. And I'd have never known they were there without the sonar and the live scope.
All right, Jay, did you?
I used it as a clock for the most part. I could have shut
What
it
was
off
that?
other than that. I used it as a clock.
No, clock.
I could have shut it off other than that.
Yeah, you know that lake pretty well anyway, don't you?
I do, but I mean, the fact that it's so low, most of the stuff I know is dry.
Yeah. If that lake comes back up, it'll be some good fish in a couple of years. So, Matt, did electronics play a point in your game plan?
I kind of did the same thing as Clayton. I was able to find out like where the rocks stopped on the end of the points, and then fish around the bigger boulders and find the smaller piles in the coves. It seems like they're holding close to the edge, just waiting for something to come over the top so they can ambush it. So it seemed like if you're 5 foot away, you weren't getting bit, but if you're dragging it right over the top of the rock and letting it fall down the edge, then it was a better location.
That's exactly what happened in my deal too. As soon as you drop it over that rock in that dark spot, they'd be there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Deric?
I don't really even use my electronics too much, but for a clock and to see how deep the water is. But later on in the day, after I'd went around that pocket about 9,000 times, I could tell you where every single pebble is in that cove because I stared at that graph so much. But I found a couple little odd structures and rocks that were out there that I kept going for, and I finally caught a good one off of one of the rocks that was down there. But other than that, I just used it to see how deep the water was, and that's about it. Maybe one day I'll get live scope and I'll be cool and scope off some rocks. I'm just jealous.
It's not as cool as you think.
Yeah.
No, it is.
It is.
Do
It is
it.
really nice.
Don't downplay it, man.
Like I said, I don't catch many fish off of it, but it sure helps find structure, and you can stay back pretty far and still find that structure. That's what's nice.
Tony, did it play a factor for you?
I found a few spots. Mostly where I caught most of my fish were obvious. Like I wouldn't have needed it. I would say I found maybe one, like I think maybe that 17 smallmouth I caught, 17 plus smallmouth I caught. I kind of thought I seen it over there. It was kind of looked like it came out from a rock and went back. And I was like, was that a fish? I think it was a fish. And I threw to it, and I mean, I bounced it. It actually overcast a little bit, and it hit the wall, and then dropped in the water about 2 foot from the wall, and it hit it almost instantly. So So for the rest of the day, I threw it against the wall and bounced it off. It didn't work again. That's like the sound. But, no, it played a little bit of a factor, but not really, because like the structure I was fishing, it was like obvious structure, like you could see it. So, what about you, Tim?
Yeah, the only school I've ever found has been a school of like a couple schools of catfish, a couple school of white bass, and some bluegill. That's about it. I've never found a school of bass with that fan optics yet. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I can't find a school of bass. I don't think they exist in Kansas, but I can't find them. What is the next question? We kind of already walked you through the baits and what produced for you. We already did all that, but Clayton, was the bite consistent? Was it random, or was there something that just worked for you? Like you just knew it was going to be on this rock point or this drop off, or was there something that was consistent or not, or was it just random?
Yeah, like I said, it was anywhere where I could find sand with just a little bit of rock mixed in was really my consistent areas. If it was on a point, then I knew there was fish there, and that was the area that I was fishing. Every single spot that had a little bit of rock mixed with sand on a little point, I caught fish off of, and most of them it was multiple fish. I had one little bit. It had a little bit more rock on it. It's probably the best looking spot that I caught fish off of, and I caught. I lost two, caught a 13 3/4, caught my 19, and then I caught a 14 1/4 inch largemouth, all off the same point in like 15, 20 minutes. And but I only caught one fish that I would have really considered random in my main area, and that was just one when I cut across the cove and cast at just a sand bank that I didn't see anything, and as I was drifting backwards, I realized something was pulling on my line, and there was a 17.5 incher on it. So I caught my last coal of the day, that 16 incher I caught on my way back when I stopped in the next cove over. When I was kind of taking a break from fighting the wind, there was just one spot that was one of those sand banks, a few rocks mixed in. So I made a cast at it, caught that 16 off of it. But it was just really, really consistent. If I could find sand mixed with a little bit of rock, that's where I was getting bit at.
Okay. I remember watching your video and you were like, well, I should head back across.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Yeah, I was really not sure. And I was kind of, with the 2-day tournament in mind, I was kind of trying to think fish conservation, because it's not a real big area. I didn't know how many were in there. Plus there was 2 boats in there with me. So I wasn't sure how many fish they were going to be taking. I didn't see them catch fish, but I assumed they would eventually catch something out of there. And I didn't know if they were keeping them or what they were doing.
Yeah. Jake, what about you? Was it consistent? Was it random? Did you know like where they were going to be at, or was it just a random luck of the draw?
Ones I was catching were off of some kind of cover, really shallow. So if I could find that, I had a little bit of confidence that there would be a fish there. And then I caught a bunch of or not a bunch, but some random smallmouth, just covering water. They seem pretty random for me, but the shallow largemouth were somewhat consistent.
Yeah. Okay. Matt?
I was just jumping back and forth between about 3 or 4 different points. If I seen, bait or shad, then I'd stick there a little bit longer. But I'd usually stick on a point for 30, 45 minutes, and if nothing was there, move on to the next one. So just hopscotching back and forth, hoping I'd catch them when they came up to feed.
Okay. Deric?
I mean, they were probably pretty random, but I got my first good bite on that main lake point, and then and it broke me off, and I went around to retie, and that's when a bass boat moved in, and he sat there, But I switched rods right before that, and I caught one. So he seen me catching one, and then I kind of like faded into this little pocket next to it. Matt knows what I'm talking about. That main point right there. There's a little hook, and I went up in there, and I mean I was 20 feet from the point, and he just pulled up and started fishing. And I told him I was in a tournament, but I don't know if it's just the bass boat guys look at us as like just peasant kayakers or whatever. I mean, we're there for the same reasons they're there for, to win a tournament. And so it's just kind of disrespectful. Like they never, like that guy, he sat there for like 3 hours and didn't catch a fish. And then when he left, I went over there and I caught a 17. And it's like, if another boat would have been there, would he have just moved up and sat there like that? Or was it just because it was a kayak? He didn't really care. You know, that's the way it always bothers me. But I actually talked to the guy the next day, and he was really cool, and he apologized for fishing over there. He's like, "Oh, sorry, I got so close to you," and blah blah blah. I didn't know you were in a tournament. And I'm like, I told you I was fishing a tournament, and I was trying to fish that point. But the other two boat guys, what's that?
It's usually I didn't see you over there. I didn't see you guys.
Yeah, and half the 3 hours that he sat there, he wasn't even fishing. He was just digging around in his box and just playing with his phone and stuff because I was close enough to see him. And I'm just like, dude, when are you gonna leave? And so that's when I went over to this other point and I caught one. And same thing, after I caught that one, I wasn't getting a bite, so I moved over to a little bit farther, and a bank fisherman came up and started catfishing right there. So I couldn't fish that spot anymore. The other guy sitting over there on that point, and then he finally left, and another boat came in, which the boats never came in at the same time. See, that's what I'm talking about. They would see another boat there and they would just drive by. But if they see a kayaker there, they just pull right in. They don't care. Yeah. It just blows my mind. But so the other two boat guys, they stayed respectively, you know, kept their distance from me, except for the one guy that dropped his boat in and just did donuts for 30 minutes and then he left. And that was right after I caught one up in the flat. Like that was a random fish because I just like went up to kind of get out of the wind, and then I caught him in like 2 foot of water and super shallow. And I was like all stoked. I was like, oh sweet. So I like backed off and like went to take the picture, and then that guy drops his boat in, almost backs into me, and then starts ripping donuts. And so then I went back and fished the point again, and I just kind of went between all 3-4 spots that I had in there, just rotated several times, and I'd get lucky and they'd pull up to eat and I'd catch 1 or 2. But it was really slow, honestly, like really slow.
All right.
A lot
Tony,
of white bass.
Yeah.
Big carp.
Oh yeah.
I didn't catch anything like white bass or anything, I don't think, on game day. But yeah, they were all random. I mean, it was tough. It was a tough fight for me all 4 days or 3 days I was there. So I would say that all of them were pretty much random. So it's like one here, one there. I mean, they were where they should be, but there wasn't any like, oh, this is it. This is the spot. I'm gonna win it up right here. So you?
Yeah, I mean, I found a pretty early bite on a 3-inch little jighead minnow, like a 3-inch, I think is what it was, 3-inch little white jighead minnow. And it was pretty much throw it out on a point, and smallies would just smash it. And that was the biggest pattern I found. And then I had a random one on a whopper plopper that was kind of out from the bank pretty far and scared the crap out of me. Came up and hit that whopper plopper, but other than that, that's about it. Just that little swim bait worked pretty dang good. And then the largemouth, you know, spinner bait on those. But yeah, Matt needs some caffeine.
He's on his other app on his phone, I'm sure.
Yeah. He's looking to see anybody past him in the monthly.
No.
So, Clayton, any random baits or techniques that surprised you that you didn't expect to work well at all?
Not really. I didn't catch a single fish on a swim bait or a shaky head, except for the 2 that I caught on tournament day. I don't know. I just had both of those tied on because I had confidence in them. I felt like they would catch fish, and I wasn't surprised to catch fish on them, but I was surprised my swim bait fish was a bass. I thought it was a walleye, but Um, other than that, no, I wasn't surprised by any of them.
Yeah. Jay?
I didn't really catch many on, or I don't know. How do I say? I only caught fish on a couple different baits. I tried several and gave up on them quick. So the things I did catch them on, it didn't surprise me any.
The huge.
Yeah. Matt?
Since I was catching them on a spinnerbait, I was half expected to catch them on chatterbait along the windy points, just like something a little bit different. But I never did catch one on a chatterbait, so I was kind of surprised by that. But everything else would seem pretty normal.
Okay. Deric?
No, not surprised what I caught him on at all. I was surprised about the flathead I caught on a tube, though, but never caught a flathead on a tube, but they'll eat anything.
I threw a tube for quite a while out there, and I didn't get a single fish on a tube. But
Me either.
Then the big
tried.
carp I tail snagged, that surprised me.
was it
Thought
as
I
big
had
as
the
the
one.
one last year, or was it earlier this year? You caught that, was it 36-pounder?
No,
That
it
big
wasn't
carp?
that big, but it was a good looking fish, though. It was like bright gold one. It had nice scale patterns on it. Looked really cool, but definitely didn't want to mess with it during the tournament. It's a waste of time. That flathead was on a spinning rod too, so that was fun. And that was when another boat guy moved that was there. He actually moved closer to me when he seen me fighting that fish for 30 minutes. I'm like, dude, it's a catfish. Go away. Like,
I just tell him it's state record smallmouth. I scream at him. It's a state record smallmouth.
I think you and Tim have a lot in common, Deric. You guys miss a lot of big fish, and you just have boats that swarm to you. Like every
catch fish to miss fish.
Tim
You
was
can
like,
have-
Tim was like, yeah, you can go to that spot I was going to go to. So I went to it, and a boater almost cut me off, and he was flipping over his trolling motor to go where I wanted to go. Like he looked like he was going to go, and he looked the other way, and I was doing like pedaling as fast as I could with my trolling motor full speed. Went around him, went to that spot, and he just looked up. He was like, where the hell did that guy come from? So even if Tim wasn't there, his presence was there because I had a boater almost go in right in the spot I was going for, but I luckily beat him to it. So
Yeah, I was heading across to my spot, and the two boaters go directly right where I was heading, and I'm like, really?
every time.
Yeah. Tony, did anything surprise you?
Yeah. That first one I did catch, that bigger largemouth, that shocked me because I hadn't seen a largemouth there in a while. And it was actually farther away in deeper water because I was kind of where I was actually casting it to. I was, kind of bringing it back a little bit, and it was kind of a little bit random on the spot. Like I think it was about 10 foot of water, 10 foot of water. And I was getting ready to start reeling it in, and that's when it hit it. And I was like, oh man. So I wasn't actually where I was casting to, but it was away from where I was casting to. So that kind of surprised me. And that it was a largemouth. So
Yeah.
that surprised me as well. So
I didn't catch any largemouth on Saturday.
yeah, they're there. They're not as
Yeah,
A good one on Friday by the bridge pillar, but I didn't fish over there on Saturday. So
I pulled up to a random area I'd never been to, and it looked like Shangri-La. I mean, it was creeks. There was some cover on the bank and some cover in the water. And I was like, if I was a largemouth, I'd be sitting right there. And I threw my bait out, and it just came up and just 16 and a half or whatever it was, largemouth. I caught two, I think two largemouth back there. Yeah, it just came out and then the other one came out the same way, right on cover. So it was pretty fun. And then that smallmouth, the big one I lost, it was actually in like 12 foot of water. Let my bait set a little bit longer than I like to, and I went to go lift it up, and the fish was on there. So, and then I seen Cole.
I think I caught all mine in 3 to 14 foot around there.
Yeah, the biggest one of the whole year was about 12 foot of water. So, but
yeah.
Did anybody hear what happened to Cole out there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard what happened. Was he all right?
I think so.
Did he happen to his kayak or anything?
I think he just lost a rod.
Yeah, I knew he lost a rod. I didn't know if his kayak got damaged or anything.
I think we lost him.
You guys there?
Oh,
yeah.
He's back.
Everybody cut out. Yep, everybody cut out for a second. No, basically he was sitting on a point, and I don't know if that's mine. He was sitting on a point and facing the shore, and the other two had spot lock on. They said, but two guys on a boat, and they just go up and they off spot lock and hit him right in the kayak and drop like a $600 combo in the water.
See, that's
like,
ridiculous, man. You got to
It's
pay
like
attention to what you're doing if you're in a boat.
two guys on a
especially.
bass boat, and it's like I don't know. And you're on the trolling motor and you're facing forward, so I don't know how that works. So I think they're going to buy him a new rod and reel combo. So
Like I said, in a way, I think boats in general, even just especially tournament bass fishermen, like they just overlook kayakers. Like we're just like they see a kayak and they think that's like, oh, that's like your aunt out there just paddling around having a good old Sunday afternoon, you know? And it's like we're there doing the same thing, man. Like we grinded all week at work to get here to go fish this tournament, you know, and then you're just going to come in and fish our spot or back into us or float into coal. It's like, pay attention to what you're doing, man.
I fished my first boat tournament in Milford, and I seen a kayaker out there, and I was like, peasant. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what the way they look at some. I mean, they're always usually pretty cool when you talk to them, but it's just like when it comes to they're in a tournament, it's like they don't ever think that the kayak guy's in a tournament. You know, that's what I feel like. They're just thinking you're just over there fun fishing. So
I'll give you a little bit of advice. I'll give you a little bit of advice, and people that listen a little bit of advice. But I don't get mad at boaters anymore because at Cedar Bluffs, a boater came into my area, like right on top of me, and I wasn't catching anything. And he started throwing a buzzbait, and so I was like, huh. And then I look back, and my buzzbait box is in the truck, and all I have is that little bait I use. And I'm catching my limit because I seen they were on top water. So I'm like, yeah. Otherwise I wouldn't have known. But it was a very specific area, and they were hitting that certain bait in that area. And yeah. And then I see Skucius come by and throwing back 16s, and I'm like, really?
One of the boaters, he came over and asked me because he seen me throwing a spinning rod in the wind, and he was just like, he's like, man, I've been fishing in this pocket for 30, 40 minutes now with you. And he's like, I've seen you catch 2 or 3. He's like, on that spinning rod, man. He's like, how are you fishing that in this wind? He's like, tell me, what are you throwing? Are you throwing a drop shot? And I was like, nah, just a little Ned. He was just like, a Ned? And then like kind of shook his head and then just pulled his trolling motor up and took off. And I was like he couldn't believe it or something.
Funny.
Clayton, we'll go back to you. Do you treat a championship any different than a normal tournament, or do you just treat it like a normal tournament? Do you play it safe, or since it was a 2-day tournament, or do you just kind of swing for the fences?
The only thing I was really treating different, like I said, was I was kind of keeping fish conservation in mind. I wasn't sure how many were in the area I was fishing. Once I caught that 16 3/4, and I was to the point of where I had 87 1/4, and I was needing to coal 14 1/4. Yeah, I knew there was probably more fish in there that I could do that with, but I didn't really want to go through and try to catch a bunch more fish potentially and not be able to get those fish Sunday if I needed them, just to try to coal a few more inches. So that was when I made the decision. I pretty much made up in my mind that 10 o'clock was going to be my cutoff anyways, and it was right about 10 o'clock when I caught that fish. So I went ahead and pulled the plug and started heading back, and I was going to go try to move to a different part of the lake and see if I could maybe catch a big one somewhere else. But I ended up catching that 16 in the next cove over and cooled up another 1 3/4 anyways. And then I moved to a different part of the lake and never caught another bass the rest of the day.
Wow. Do you think that spot would have produced the second day or not?
Yeah, I do. I wasn't having any problem catching any fish there. I wasn't catching them fast, but I knew where they were and I knew what they were eating. I don't think I'd had any problem. Like I said, the guys that I saw come in there in the boats, they really looked like they were trying to target largemouth. They were going to the very backs.
Mm-hmm.
there were some of those, I can't think of what the invasive weed is called that they have sprayed, but there's some of those growing in the back of it. And they were going straight to the backs and fishing the bank. There's none of those weeds in the water. I don't know why they're going back there. I tried to fish for largemouth back there. I never got bit. So, but that's where I saw them fishing pretty much the whole time. So those boats would go to the back and fish back there and just completely looked like they're just completely ignoring smallmouth. So, which was fine with me because that's what I was mainly targeting.
You know, with everybody talking the way they were about Wilson, the fish I caught were super healthy. They seemed like they were all healthy fish.
Yeah, I didn't catch a skinny fish.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It was the fish better than what I anticipated it would. I was really expecting it to be tougher than it was. It was not easy by any means, but it was, like Tony said, it was more a standard Kansas lake. It wasn't just go out and beat their brains in for 3 days like it used to be. It was you go out there and you grind for some fish and you get a good one every once in a while.
Yep. Well, Jay, what about yourself? Do you do a championship differently? I know you know, AOY or whatever, but
Not really. I just, like I said, I just wanted to catch a limit. Ideally, catch a limit 2 days, and that was pretty much my only goal. I didn't like take a giant risk to try and win it or anything. I just wanted some consistency, I guess.
do you think your spot would have held fish on day 2?
I think it would have. I mean, I caught a 17 and a 17 and a quarter off the same spot, just letting it rest like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like overnight it would have probably reloaded, 1 or 2 more fish at least. And then just kind of expand on that same pattern, maybe pick up a random smallie,
Now, when I saw you, I don't remember what time I saw you, like 12 o'clock or whatever. You still had 2 small fish in your kayak or in your live well. You were able to upgrade those fish.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 2 more 16 and a halves back in right after I seen you.
Yeah, very nice.
2 you missed.
Yeah, what's funny is I fished that whole area, and then you go back and hit them, and I'm like, dang it.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
The Oasis looking spot, he picked them up before I got there.
Yeah. That's a good little spot, though. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that spot. Matt, what about yourself? Did you treat it like a normal tournament, or were you like scared going in? Were you shaking a little bit, or were you?
I mean, all the events I fish, I know, just go in mindset of have fun, fish, and hope to do well. But after fishing the Heartland event, what was that, 2 years ago, and that was actually a lot tougher than Wilson. But then after fishing the All-American, like I said 2 weeks ago, I figure if I got 80 inches a day, then I'd be sitting pretty good. So I felt like those points were going to reload. I felt like they held fish. I would just have to find out where the bait was and go from there. So,
do you think you would have caught more fish if it was a north wind? You think you would have had a better limit?
I think I would have been at my other spot over by Lucas. If
Yeah,
it was
right. Have been on the other side of the lake.
Yeah, I thought I was going to go there, but it was too windy. So, yeah. Deric, did you treat any different than a normal tournament, or did you?
I mean, I wanted to win this year because last year I was so freaking close after
You were.
leading on the first day and losing a big fish the second day last year. I was determined to win this year, and I mean, it was the only championship that got away from me because I think I got the Sunflower Championship, the Champion of Champions, and then Clayton beat me on day 2 at Milford. So I was all winter. All I was thinking about was how I wanted to win the championship this year, and so it was a struggle to even get to the lake, man. I had to get my car fixed on Monday. I didn't even know if it was going to get fixed, if I was even going to be able to go to the tournament. So I was stressed. And then you guys talking all the crap about how bad the lake's fishing. I'm just sitting here like, dude, this is just horrible. Like, this is going to be the worst championship ever. And the fishing actually turned out to be pretty good. Yeah. I was just bummed that we canceled the second day and the fish were there. Clayton can verify that because we went and fished there the next morning. And what happened? What'd you catch first cast?
I caught an 18 from the bank as soon as I walked down.
Yep. And then you left, and I retied, and I went over there, and I caught like 2 15s and a 16, 7.5 or something. And then those catfish guys, one of them caught a smallie, and I was just like, okay, I'm going home.
I'm sure it tasted delicious.
Oh, they didn't keep it. They were just keeping their catfish, but yeah, they were definitely there again.
Best tasting fish.
So I think day 2 I would have had a little bit better day, honestly, because I figured out like the exact spots within the spot that I needed to fish, the exact bait that I needed to fish, and I found out where all the boulders were. And then I knew if a boat did come, I knew exactly where I needed to go to block their ass. And so I was more confident for Sunday than I was for Saturday by far. Like I'd say 100% more confident because Saturday.
Do you think you would have moved out of that area, or would you think you would have stayed in that same area?
Yeah, I would have moved a little bit, just knowing that Matt caught fish and he left. I left a few times, but I didn't catch any fish. And the wind I felt like every time that I went out, the wind would just gust at 40 miles an hour, all crazy. And I'd sit out there for 15 minutes, and I'd be like, dude, fuck this. And I'd go back in, and then the wind would calm down a little bit. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back out there to this other little spot. And I'd go out there, and then the wind would pick back up. So I'd just go right back in. But I was ready to do whatever it took on Sunday, man. Honestly, I didn't even care. And the fish were there. It was, like I said, and I knew what to do. Saturday, I had zero confidence on Saturday until I started catching fish. And then when I went to bed Saturday night, I was like pretty damn confident about Sunday that I was going to go catch them for sure. But I knew Clayton had a damn good spot too. But hey, the thing is, it's fishing though. I'm not saying I could have won it or anything because I know how anybody could. Tony could have won it. Like, it's fishing, dude.
Hey.
I mean, Clayton could have skunked. I could have skunked. I mean, you never know.
I had a pretty good feeling about day 2 with myself. I wanted to. I seen somebody catch some nice fish, and they left.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to take their spot. So,
yeah.
Like they went home. They were going to go home left. So I was like, well, there's a spot I can go back to tomorrow. So
Neil asked, "Does anyone have their trolling motor battery die?" Oh, go ahead, Deric.
I was going to say, and that boat guy that sat there for like 2 hours, Clayton seen him in there, and I was talking to him for a while, walking up and down the bank when we were bank fishing, and he was fishing up there on that point that Matt was fishing on, and he said he just caught 2 4-pounders off that point right there that Matt was fishing. So I was like, damn, Matt might have had a day too. So
yeah, it was really anybody's game the second day.
It was probably a better decision to cancel it. I mean, it was pretty freaking dangerous out there, man. I'm just glad we all made it out alive because it was
the wind was heavier on Sunday morning when we woke up on the lake. It just seemed like it was blowing way heavier than it was the day before.
It was weird because it seemed like Friday it wasn't as windy, but the waves were much worse. And then on Saturday it seemed, I know it was maybe where it was just at, but it seemed like the waves weren't as bad on like certain areas where the wind was worse. I don't know if that makes sense. And then
what's weird on Friday, I couldn't get bit unless I was throwing a moving bait, like a crankbait, or if I was like fishing my Ned super fast, or even one time I was trolling, just like moving to a spot and I was just trolling, holding my Ned and just popping it, and I would catch them. But then on Saturday, like I couldn't catch anything on moving bait unless it was a white bass, and all my smallmouth were just like super slow dragging on the bottom. It's like the bite changed.
Yeah.
Well, Neil asked, "Is anyone battery die?" And I'm the first guy. Mine did. It was like 2:40. I was going to head back to the marina, and I'm going down the wall. I was like, I don't have time. It's 3:00, 20 minutes. So I headed back from the wall and just fished a little area. And then at 3:00, I started heading in. Tony's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "It's 3:00. I'm heading in. It's over." He's like, "It's not over till 3:30. I'm like, "Oh my God." So I was going in like basically an hour early, and so I headed back around by the campgrounds, got up to the campgrounds, and my battery died. So luckily I had my pedal drive, and so I pedaled from there back to the ramp, and this fat boy was tired. So
Got to get a better
realize-
battery, dude.
100 amp hour. That's not good enough.
I
Yeah.
ran my 60 amp hour tracker lithium battery from the time I put my boat in the water till the time I took it out. And it was on spot lock, or I was moving around the whole freaking time. And I mean, I still had plenty of juice left in that thing.
Man,
But-
I was in the wind in the morning and I was fishing this rock pile, and the only way I could really fish it from the side I wanted to fish it was if I kind of got in front of it a little bit and I was kind of casting kind of back into it. So I was in the wind, and I mean it was struggling keeping up. And I know I had a 100 amp hour battery, and so does Tim. We have the same battery, but I don't have a Bluetooth on it. Big mistake if you ever gonna buy lithium, just buy it with Bluetooth. It's worth the extra money. That's all I gotta say. But,
I don't have that either.
Yeah, I know you can. There's other ways to do it, but it's just nice to have. But yeah, I took it. It was when I put it on the charger. I think it was at like 10%. So, but yeah.
Did you guys ever lose like the GPS location like on spot lock? Because like the wind was so strong sometimes, like it would blow me like 5 feet away, and then or even 10 feet sometimes. It was like I would just slowly eventually like work my way 10 feet away, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't even touch the trolling motor, and then I got to like put my boat back over there and hit spot lock again.
Yeah, I had a few times where it felt like it floated back about 3 to 5 extra feet than it should have been when I hit
Yeah.
it. But yeah,
Like the wind was too strong for the trolling motor.
Well, I
Mark-
was measuring fish, looked up, and I was down by the dam already. So I was like, what the heck?
yeah, I think you could have made it to the dam in about 3 minutes without even a motor.
You know,
Just
I told you
floating.
there were some people that were going to drop in, and they were going to put, there was an older couple, and they were going to put in an inflatable like rowboat with a Minn Kota that they were getting out of the box, and they were taking it out of the box. They'd never even used it, and they were getting ready to launch that on Saturday when I was getting off the water. And I think did you see him, Matt? That truck that pulled up? I think you'd already took off because they pulled up at your boat ramp right there at the ramp that you were using, and they were getting ready to launch. And I warned them. I was like, I wouldn't do that. And so I ended up talking them into going to a different. I thought it was safer on the south side, so I told them to go over there. But I told them you might want to wait till next weekend. But they were like, "Is it dangerous?" I'm like,
So
"Look at the lake."
So Mark has a good question. We'll start with Clayton. The guys with live scope, did it help any with the high winds, keeping you locked into the juicy areas, or was it useless being blown around? So did it help you stay locked onto a tree or a brush pile or a rock pile, or did it kind of with the wind blow you off that pile?
Yeah, it was pretty much key for me. The pile that I caught my big one off of, I actually had a hard time finding it. I thought it would be pretty easy to find from Thursday. I guess I don't know. It seemed like it was a pretty good sized rock pile on Thursday, but when you're bucking around on the waves like I was, it makes it a lot harder. So I sat there and tried to fish it for like 20 minutes, and I wasn't even feeling any rocks. So I decided I was going to have to just risk spooking some fish, and I drove up closer to where I was trying to fish, and I just had to scope around, found the rock pile, turned back around, spot locked again once I knew where it was, and I just aimed the pole towards where the rocks were, and then I was able to sit there and fish them. And it still took a while before I started getting bites, but once I started dragging through the rocks and kind of like what Matt was saying, I'd drag up over the top of the rocks, and once I would pop off the rocks, just let it drop. And once it would drop down, that's when the fish were eating it. Even with that swim bait, I'd drug it over the top of the rocks, and I just kind of killed it and let it sink over the other side. And that's when that big one smacked it.
Yeah, that's how I caught my two bigger ones. It's doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, I
Jay,
think-
you don't have live scope, do you?
No, I don't.
Matt, what about you? Did it help you out quite a bit?
I didn't use live scope for like finding individual fish. I used it on perspective mode so I could see like where the rock croppings were. But having spot lock and then having live scope on perspective mode, I could set myself up where I could fish 20, 30 feet of the bank, and I knew where all the rock was, and I could just, stay there for a half hour, 45 minutes, and make a lot of fan casts and just try to find something. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Tony, did it help you?
Yeah, I mean it helped, but just I guess if you don't have spot lock, pinpoint, whatever, then it might be difficult keeping on that point. But with a spot lock and the live scope, it really helped a lot. Because with my live scope, and I'm sure most people's live scope now, you can go around 360 degrees. So once you get settled in with that spot lock and you're on your spot, you can move your live scope wherever you want. I was actually literally I was talking about that where I was fishing in front of it. I was actually pointing it like back. I guess it'd be like the 5 o'clock, right? Almost behind me, looking behind me for the fish. So yeah, I mean it would be very difficult if I didn't have spot lock. So I think to even stay on any spot at that point in time. So
Yeah, I agree.
you want to Tim, you want to move on to the
Yeah.
Is
reflection?
that Mark Patuni or
I
Pontuni?
think so. I think so. Yep.
Dude, shout out to Mark, man.
Yeah.
I got my first team trophy because of him.
He's a silent hammer.
He was probably, he probably seen my score from Kanza and was like, yes, I got Deric. He had 87 inches. And then I didn't do anything, got carried for a win.
Yeah.
I know I would have seen that and been excited, but sorry about that, Mark. We still won, though. Thank you.
Yeah.
Clayton, looking back, was there a decision that made you especially proud, or is there one that you take back, like oh, man, I wish I wouldn't have done this, or heck yeah, I did this?
Probably both the same thing. About halfway into my run on Saturday morning,
Praying to Jesus.
I got out of the little pocket that I launched in and started going down that first flat bank, and I had to stay out probably 60, 70 yards off the bank because it was so shallow. And something I didn't really take into consideration is the fact that it might be like 1.7, 1.8 foot deep when it's calm, like it was when I went out there on Thursday. But when you go up over a wave and then you go down in the trough, it's only about a foot deep. So I kept smacking my motor on the bottom, and it shut my motor off one of those times when I went down. And when it's that rough and your motor gets popped loose and then shut off all at the same time, it goes downhill real quick. So I had to yank my motor up and the pedal drive and my rudder, and I jumped in and I was dragging my kayak. I had to just walk it down the bank through the waves for probably 100 yards till I got to the next point and kind of walked out about waist deep and jumped in the waves. I put the motor back down, turned it on. Once it started to take off, I jumped in with it and went out and around and down into the cove and just making it there. I guess I was happy to be there, but I was definitely not looking forward to the part where I had to do it all over again.
Well, I can tell you this: if you would have fell out, it would have came because I was basically just south of you, and it would have came over there. I would have used your baits, grabbed your poles, and started using your baits. And, oh yeah, report Clayton's missing, and then use your baits. So, Jay, what about yourself?
I don't know. Probably after I seen you and went back into that cove and picked up the two more upgrades, I got pretty far back in it and just about turned around. I was like, oh, I'll go as far as I can. And I was dragging my pedal drive and my trolling motor both through the mud, just kicking up silt and basically spot locking without any power, just stuck there, power pulled. And that's how I caught those two, just back that as far as I could possibly go.
Yeah, I went back as far as I could go in there as well, and because I thought maybe that went back around, but it was like 1.5 feet deep.
Well, this was the Stumpy Cove, the other cove.
Yeah, that's where I was at.
Yeah, okay.
I thought maybe there was a little creek back there, kind of went around like that, but I couldn't even
just
get back
dies.
there.
Yeah,
And
it used to
going
go back,
it was
but
1 mile an hour. Yeah, but yeah, that was a good decision for sure. I went back. I was like, you said, "Oh, I'm going that way." I'm like, good luck, and then you catch 2 upgrades. So yeah, Matt,
I think my like oh shit moment was be like right after we launched on Saturday. I knew where I wanted to go, and I knew going around that first point I was going to start running into waves. And part of me wanted to wait till daylight, and part of me said no, go while it's still kind of dark. It's still kind of dusk, I guess. Because I think if I would have waited, I would have seen them waves and thought twice about it. But yeah, just got to take your time going through them waves. Just like probably Clayton did, just ride through the troughs and hold on. Strap everything down. Put your rain suit on because you're going to get water over the front and the side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Deric?
What was the question?
So looking back, was there a decision that you were proud of, and then was there one that you wish you could take back?
A decision that I'm proud of. I don't know, but a decision that I could take back. It's probably regret not going with Clayton, but
He didn't invite us.
Well, we were both looking. We went around and we were looking at spots and stuff, and we were both talking about like different dirt launches and blah blah blah. So we went and checked that one out, and then he said that he had fished down there the other day. He didn't tell me that he caught them. He was just like, yeah, I caught a fish or something like that, and so I wanted to fish down there anyways. I've always wanted to go that direction, so I was all about it, but I kind of regret not going over there, but at the same time, I'm okay with it. I had fish where I was at. I mean, we were catching fish over there, me and Matt, but I kind of wish I would have went a little harder Saturday, obviously now knowing that we didn't fish Sunday, but I was okay with what I had Saturday because I was in like second place. And then I think Jay passed me up the last minute. And then Matt tied me once he submitted his fish. And I was cool with that going into Sunday. But had I known we weren't fishing Sunday, I mean, I might have not lingered so long in like the areas that I was in and maybe just, went for it and went to some different spots and went and tried to find a bigger bite real quick,
Yeah.
But that's probably my only regret.
Yeah. Tony?
But you never know.
No regrets. I don't have any. I got my limit, and that's all I was shooting for. So, I think I would have. I may have risked it, gone somewhere else. I thought about it. It crossed my mind, just to get in the wind because I like fishing in the wind. But it was just a little too much. I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. So, but Neil asked, what do you guys think? Any way possible someone without at least a trolling motor would have had a chance?
Well,
yes.
If you were paddling, no.
No.
Paddling, no. Pedals, yes.
And maybe if you had an anchor, you'd have been cool in some
Todd was
spots,
out
but
there
you'd got
without a
the
motor.
crap beat out of you.
Todd was out there without a motor, and I watched him fishing, and
he went everywhere.
He caught some nice ones. So with a paddle, no. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to do anything that day. A nice pedal drive, I definitely think you would have had a chance. I mean, there was a couple people around me that didn't have motors, and they were catching fish. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice to have a trolling motor in Kansas. But I mean, I did it for a whole year without a trolling motor, and I don't think it's not as fun, but it's doable. So.
Actually, I have one more regret. After watching Clayton's video, and the first cast with my spinning rod in the morning, I had chartreuse Ned bait on there, and I hooked that big one that broke me off. And when I retied, I tied on the green pumpkin, which I caught a couple 17s on. So I just kept it on there and fished it, and switched the color. But I'm talking about the head of it. It was like the dark green head. But I had a chartreuse one on, and I never put one back on. And then I watched his video, and all of his big ones, he was catching on that chartreuse head, and I'm like, damn it, should have put that back on there. But
live and learn.
I know, you never know, it might not have worked, but I did get a really good bite on it right off the rip, and I just tied the other color back on.
I think I probably would have played that big one out a little bit longer than I did. That big fish I lost, I would have played it out a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Cost me 7 inches. But
dude, I've missed so many fish this year that has cost me. I mean, what I had like 6 second places, and at every one of those second place, I missed a fish. So it's like,
Well, that's the difference between good and great. I mean, if I could get my fish in, but I need some more practice with the big fish because apparently I don't know what I'm doing. But
dude, it just
Clayton-
happens. So you can't control how they get hooked.
You wanna move on to the next section, Tim?
Oh yeah.
For time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's one lesson from Wilson you'll carry with you in the next season, Clayton? Did you learn anything that you'll carry into another? Like, let's say Perry, like next year, the championship will be at Perry. I mean, will that carry with you there? I'm joking.
Wait, it's at Perry?
I would
No.
probably try not to fish history too much. I went into Wilson just knowing that it wasn't going to be the same lake that I've fished before because it's so low. So I really just kind of went into it with a clean slate, trying not to put too much weight into anything that I've done out there before. And I really think that helped me because I tried to, like Saturday afternoon, I tried to go back to places that I've caught fish before and do things that I've caught fish doing before, and I never had another bite.
Jay?
I don't know. Part of me says maybe I shouldn't pre-fish.
Yeah.
You did pretty good not pre-fishing.
Yeah, I used to never pre-fish much and did pretty good back then, but I don't know. It's tougher now. And part of me, I don't know, might have should have tried something different. I figured the north side would be good if you could do it, but I just didn't want to fight it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Someone told me this year.
Maybe should have winged it over there.
Someone told me this year. I won't say who, but they're like, I was like, "Oh, did you pre-fish?" And they're like, "If you can't figure them out the day of the tournament, then you need to be a better angler." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." But I think for me, it's when I first started doing it, pre-fishing was more important because I really didn't know any of these lakes at all. But now that I've gotten to know the lakes better, pre-fishing I don't think is as important. Plus, I'm a better angler than I was 5 years ago, I think.
Mm,
You giving Tim a run for his money here.
I'm taking
Dude,
Tim's money.
I think
he's taking my money a lot.
I think the whole competitiveness of the whole club has gone up, even just from when I started fishing it. Like, I feel like everybody's gotten better, man.
We've got some seriously good anglers that were rookies here too. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
the top three, Joe Bailey and Ernesto Flores and Austin Clements. We're gonna have to watch out for them.
Yeah, Ernesto got big bass of the year for the tournaments, right?
Yeah, 21.75 down at Bone Creek.
That's
Throwing
awesome.
that
I got that my
19
first year too. That's an awesome thing to get, man. Definitely makes you feel good.
I would get a
wanna come
lot
back.
more of big bass if Jay wasn't around. He's always cut me out of big bass.
Yeah, but if Tim caught his, he'd get it every time.
He would. He would.
Only like 6 tournaments this year.
Look out when he starts getting them in the net.
I don't think I got anything on that.
Find
would have
out they're
got me.
actually 16s.
Yeah, the only one I missed, the only one I got was Milford, and I actually pretty sure I lost a bigger one than that. I even got it on the video and everything, but other than that, I don't think I've missed any that like, oh, I would have had big bass. That's it. That's the only one. So
Yeah, the only one that stands out to me is Perry Lake. I missed a giant there, man.
yeah, you
I'm
saved
gonna
it
be
for
thinking
Clayton
about
the
that
next
for
week.
a year.
You saved it for Clayton. I got big bass in that.
He didn't catch it either.
That was a fun one. So I seem to be getting big bass, and I think I got like 3 or 4 in Conza this year. Big bass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Shout out Neil with the Kanza, man.
yeah.
That's
Looking forward to the next one.
good job running that club this year. That was fun, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tony, you want to take
I
it
don't
out?
think so. I don't think so.
I had
at
a
all.
good experience there.
Yeah, it was fun. I like the new lakes. That's what my favorite thing is. Tim, what'd you
Yeah.
say?
Do you want to go ahead and ask the next session there, the question?
Oh yeah, next section. Yeah, so thanks everybody about the tournament
Yeah.
stuff. I really want to hear from everybody watching. I don't know if they're still on, but I know Doug and Mark and Neil and a few other people are on watching. So we'd love what your thoughts are on this too. But
Yep.
we kind of want to take some time this week and reflect on the 2025 season. And just kind of, we've got 6 of us here that fish. I think most of us fish about every event. So I'll start. I'm going to go backwards here. Deric, what was your favorite lake this season and why?
My favorite lake. I mean, I'd have to say, honestly, my favorite lake was probably Perry for the Kansas event because that's where I had the highest score, caught the biggest smallmouth. And so
Doesn't count.
It was, biased opinion. It was fun. But KKA, jeez, man, I don't know. I didn't have fun at any of them.
You like the Roadrunners, though, don't you?
Oh, I love the Roadrunners. Man. I just do Roadrunners all the time.
Matt, what about you? You got a favorite lake?
I think my favorite event from this past year had to be the very first one where we did like the Tri-Lakes, Pony, Shawnee, and Banner.
Yeah.
Ended up getting the win on Banner thanks to Jay. He actually gave me a couple spinnerbait trailer hooks the night before, and that really helped me fish better the next day.
Nice.
The only thing that wasn't very exciting about Banner was I remembered my tent cot, but I forgot my sleeping bag, my pillow,
Oh, no.
my blankets. And Jay can attest to this. I woke up about 2 or 3 times during the middle of the night, and I would take a lap down the road just to warm back up because it was so freaking cold. So I was excited once we started fishing. I was actually able to move and warm up and get moving again.
Well, I only live 10 minutes from there, so next year, if that happens, just let me know.
Okay.
Tim's got an extra doghouse.
Yeah.
Jay, what about you?
I'd say just fishing in general. The Cedar Creek for the Roadrunner, it was fun. I mean, I didn't do great finish wise, but just caught a lot of fish and it was just fun fishing in general. Tournament wise,
Yeah,
probably
I've caught-
Melbourne, actually doing decent on smallies for a change.
Cedar Creek was a lot of fun. I'd never been there before, and I caught like 25 fish the day before in practice. It was new water. It's really pretty lake, and that was a lot of fun too. Clayton, any favorites?
I'd have to agree. Cedar Creek was my favorite lake. Same thing. I didn't catch any monsters. I guess
Pretty sure you caught a 20.
Yeah, but couldn't find the other ones to really follow it up with. But that's just a fun lake to fish, and it does have a lot of really nice fish. It's just got so many places for them to hide at.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice when you can have that many guys on a lake, and you can just catch fish all day long. That was really enjoyable. Plus, it's a lot of fishing that I like to do. So
Yeah,
that made it really enjoyable for me. I don't know. Tournament wise, I enjoyed Wilson. I was really surprised. I was not looking forward to it at all, but it actually ended up being a pretty fun event, and I was glad to get back on Perry. Also, I hadn't been out there in a long time, and the day we were out there, I think was Perry's so temperamental. And I think the day we were out there, it just kind of shut off on us, and unfortunately, because it had been fishing really good up until, I don't know if the cold front that came through the day before shut it down, but yeah, I was expecting it to be a lot better than that, but I haven't fished Perry in a couple of years, so it was always one of my favorite lakes until it kind of went downhill the last few years. So it was nice to get back out there and actually do pretty good.
yeah. Kind of got a question about that, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I was thinking, do you think Labor Day being the week after Labor Day affected the fishing?
No, not really, because we used to go out there all the time on the holiday weekends, and I'd tear them up on the holiday weekends, and they just didn't really seem to care. But I have a feeling it was probably more the cold front pulling through that
Yeah.
made the biggest difference.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tim, what about you?
Wilson was my favorite lake to fish. It was pretty good both days of practice and decent on Saturday too. But I don't know. There's still giant smallmouth in there, so I really enjoyed that. And then John says Big Hill is his favorite. So Big Hill can be on and off. Last year it was fantastic in the second part of the day, but it did not turn on this year for me. So
Yeah, and I
It
think
was tough this year.
yeah, I think Milford. I know I won, but just that day for me, because it was like I was on them and I was doing the right thing. I had not had that much fun fishing for smallmouth since like Melbourne 2 years ago, and it helps that I won, but like it really just for me, like if it wouldn't have been a tournament day, it still would have been one of the best fishing days I had this year. Just the sheer amount of fun I had that day, and they were just doing exactly what I wanted them to do. So, Neil says fishing was pretty dang good for Deric Labor Day weekend. Yeah, it was pretty good. I couldn't get on.
John got second out there, didn't he?
yeah,
Yeah,
That's another
John
person to
got
look out for.
second.
That guy's due for a win, man.
I gave him a few baits to start throwing, so that was my mistake.
Yeah.
I need to
Hey,
quit
he
doing
caught a
that.
good one at that last Conza right in front of me.
All right. So after saying what was your favorite, what's your least favorite? Like you're like, yeah, we don't need to go there next year. So
Starting with Deric.
oh, sorry, Deric, go ahead.
Man, that's a hard decision. Least favorite one. It's probably the Roadrunner with the two Shawnees and the Banner Creek, because I chose the Shawnee that I'd only fished one time. The other Shawnee I only fished it a few times, and I had never been to Banner. That's where I wanted to go because I'd never been there, and I ended up going to the smaller Shawnee Lake or whatever. And I caught a lot of fish, but I didn't have fun at that lake that day. Probably that one.
Matt, what about you? Perry?
Probably for me to Perry. Yeah, yeah. Perry, I got a curse on Perry. I swear, but I'll try to figure it out one of these days.
No way, Mark.
Dang,
Oh,
Mark.
jeez.
Wonder
That happened
if
at
that's what's
Perry?
wrong with my hand. I got spiked by one in my hand, and it's been hurting for like 3 weeks.
Jeez, man, that sucks.
Jeez,
I wonder why we
Louise.
missed you. I thought maybe you got that new job or something. So, well,
You doing so well?
yeah, Perry's a love-hate. I caught some nice ones out there. I caught a nice one at the cons. I caught a nice one pre-fishing like Tuesday night or something. I went out there. But yeah, Jay, what about you? What's
Dude,
your
you've
least
always
favorite?
had good luck at Perry.
Yeah, no, that's not true at all. The first year we did it, 2 years, 3 years ago, whenever it was, it was like my second tournament. I caught nothing but drum and catfish for 3 days and didn't catch and I skunked at Perry.
Hey, I believe it 100%.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I've caught some of my biggest fish have come out of Perry. So they're definitely
Dude,
in
it's
there.
got some big fish in there. They're just hard to come by.
Jay, what about you? What's your least favorite one?
I don't really have a least favorite. I don't think. I mean, some are better than others, but Kansas is so limited. You take what you can get.
Yeah. And I
I've
think it's
had
just time that you go there too.
I'd say Perry might be my least favorite, but I've also had some good days there. So I don't know. I've had bad days at Wilson and good days at Wilson, and I think it was all okay this year, really.
Any day fishing's a better day at work. Am I right? So, Clayton, what about you?
Sure.
I didn't hate any of them. I'd say my least favorite was probably the North 75 shootout. I don't know. I think I just kind of sucked that day, but well,
Pony turned off that day too, so
Pony
Yeah.
turned off. I didn't really trust my instincts very well that day, and things just kind of, I don't know. The weeds were a lot worse than what I wanted them to be up there, and there's too many people on too small of a lake. Made it not the kind of fishing that I like to do. I don't mind it being a little crowded, but it was a little ridiculous. But I would say Milford. Milford was the worst 3 days of fishing I've had in a long time, but that was my own fault. I know the fish are in that lake. I just really sucked for 3 days.
Yeah,
that
one did.
all right,
suck,
sandbagger.
honestly.
The whole time you were saying that.
That was. I don't have any excuse. I didn't find them for 3 days, and I don't know why. I just didn't.
Seems like when you have bad luck, Clayton, I have good luck. So it might be a thing.
I couldn't find any fish in Milford. I feel like unless there were 8 inches or
Yeah,
7
I
inches.
found a million fish, but they were all
Yeah.
tiny.
Subpar.
Yeah,
I got real excited whenever I'd catch a 12-incher because that was really good.
right. Actually felt like he had something on the line.
You are on the line. No. Hey, Tim, what about you? Your least favorite?
Least favorite. Actually, probably Big Hill.
Yeah.
So the year before, I smoked him, and I don't know. It was pretty rough for me. They
That
weren't
was
on the
hot and
dam. I can
slow.
tell you that. They were not on the dam.
Hot and
I
slow
ran-
tournament.
I ran some numbers. I showed some of you guys the numbers, but I had it kind of came out. I think it was Big Hill was I'm sorry. The North 75 shootout was kind of like the best for KK numbers and big fish and all that. And then in second place was the Cedar Creek and Southeast one. And then just for sheer numbers of people that participated. And then kind of average around 22 or so, 23 anglers, the rest of them. But Milford was kind of the best for most consistency, least amount of skunks and all that kind of stuff. And then Big Hill. And then I think it was Melbourne. And then what was the other one?
Newton.
Perry did the worst. So, but thinking back on that, what do you guys think the club did well this year in 2025, or maybe something you thought personally we did well with?
I think Tony, you did well. Well, everybody, tournament directors, you guys killed it. Everything went smooth. But I got to give you props, man, on all the work that you put in. Like just the Facebook post, the stats, the awards, filming everything, starting this podcast. Like
That was more Tim.
I think Tony's put in some work this year.
Tony's a force
if we
behind
did
the scenes.
if we did a Sportsman of the Year award, I'd probably vote for Tony.
Oh, I'm
Dude, you killed it, man. Like you added a bunch to the a bunch of stuff to it.
Yeah.
well, ChatGPT helped me with the with all the social media posts, but yeah, thank you, I appreciate that.
I'm sure all you guys put in some work behind the scenes, but like I'm just saying what I noticed the difference was all the work that like you were doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like definitely a huge difference.
I will say this, that Todd and Austin, they were trying to do it all themselves, and that's a lot for two people.
Yeah.
I don't know how they kept it up at all.
Yeah.
And so them still doing what they were doing, and then it allowed Tim and I to do other things that really made a difference. So
and obviously updating the stats quickly, that's awesome.
know,
like last or the year before last year, we would wait like a month to see what the AOI points were and like all
that's
that.
Derek's
And it's just
favorite
like
thing is like, I got to get this updated for Deric. My goal is 24 hours after the tournament ends.
Dude, I love stats, man. So I want to go see that the next day. I want to see where everybody's at. I want to see what's going on. And like for it to take a month, sometimes it's like, oh god, man. Like,
Well, even to turn the standings back on, you know what I mean? Turn the standing back
yeah,
on.
turn the standings back on that night so we can see that,
Yeah.
or on the drive home. So I ain't thinking about it for an hour and a half, like where what place I got.
Yeah. I think
I see it.
Todd and Austin did so much that it's hard for them to keep up. I'm glad they brought us on to help out because we wouldn't be able
Yeah,
to do it.
no,
without them.
props to them too, man. They put in work
Yeah.
too. But definitely what
I,
you did was very noticeable.
My favorite
Sure.
thing I did of all the stuff that I helped with this year, my favorite thing was building that spreadsheet that's
Yeah.
like live on the KKA website that Austin put on
Yep.
there for us.
Yeah, dude.
That
So
was a lot
much
of
better.
fun.
So
I
much
learned
better.
actually a lot about building spreadsheets, but
Dude, and the prize packs that you put together for the awards, man. I know some people don't show up sometimes to the awards, but like just showing up, I show up to everyone even if I skunk. I don't care because I'm there. I'm trying to support whoever did good. You know, I think that means a lot to some, you know, to an extent, especially if like a new guy wins or something and like there's only 2 people there clapping for him. Like, you know, he'd have a lot better time if there was 15 of us, you know, like, but I think more people everybody should make it a point to show up to the awards, even if it's for just 5 minutes, just to give the guy that won props, you know, or just to say hi, or to maybe win a free bag of baits, because I've won a lot of free baits, and I've used a lot of those baits to place high in tournaments and catch good fish, just fun fishing too. So
we had a
those
lot of
bait
people.
bags you put together were pretty cool.
Yeah, we had a lot of people
extra
donate a lot
effort
of
with all the little
stuff.
labels and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a really crafty bitch.
To my girlfriend, she's seen that and she's like, who's the one that is extra here? Because that's the kind of stuff she'd be doing.
Yeah.
That put a whole list of everything
It's
that's in there.
overwhelming trying to keep up with him.
Yeah, Tim can't keep up with me. So, but yeah, so thank you for that. And
Yeah.
we'll start looking for sponsors for 2026. If you guys know anybody, wink, wink, Clayton. No, you already sponsor us some, so I might hit you up next year. But for membership drives and prize packages, and I was trying to get enough for everybody for the Wilson Championship, and then everybody got 2 because nobody was there. So,
So what about Matt? Let's move on.
Oh yeah, and Neil too. Thanks.
Yeah.
If he's still watching, thanks Neil for the
Neil.
MHK Angler. I gave every one of those out to different people. I think Clayton, you got one.
I got one.
And Austin and Todd and me got one. So there was one left, so I took it. So I'll be hitting you up next month. No problem. Thanks. So yeah. And yeah, if anybody's watching, check out MHK Angler Reel Service.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
She is one.
He does a really good job.
yeah. Yeah, no, he does an amazing job. I actually got a little problem with one of my reels. I'm gonna take it to him. It's making a little noise. I just want to make sure it's okay. Probably just need some grease. But yeah, we'll come back to that here in a second, Doug.
Yep.
I think last year we had 13, but where were we at? We were at
We're with Matt.
I think went well, Matt, for 2025.
What went well?
Yeah, for club and stuff, 2025.
And we're so sorry about putting a bounty on your head, but
yeah,
dude, that was awesome. Actually,
we thought about it for about 5 seconds. I was like, I'll do it.
that was all. That was all Tim's idea. He's like, hey, and I was like, yeah, I'll pitch in. So to give Matt, he didn't even want to take the money, so
dude, you should just sell your waypoints next year, and you'll make more money than fishing those monthlies.
Yeah, he's a great for that. So yeah,
I think we got more new guys fishing this year than we have in the past couple years. So I can see the club growing over the next couple of years, which I think is a good thing. It's going to be a lot more competitive, and it's going to be a lot more fun. And these new rookies are bringing some skills to the table that some of us might have to step up. Tim.
My destiny is not to win a tournament anymore, so
I mean, it doesn't help that Clayton's setting the bar so freaking high.
Yeah.
How many? Is that 3 AOIs in a row? Like, or one and then you skipped one and then got 2 in a row?
That was 3.
3 in a row? Jeez,
but he only got 399 out of 400 points this year, so he did miss one. So
I did miss one.
Yeah, I was disappointed about that.
I couldn't believe I finished tied in 3rd place. I was really proud of myself for that.
That's what I'm saying. The competitiveness is getting. I mean, it makes me want to fish harder. I mean, Props to Clayton though, dude. He puts in work, man. Like look, even like
I
Wilson,
know
like
he
he went a day before everybody else. He was there fishing Thursday. Like, dude
They
puts
were,
in work to get where he's at. Like, it makes me want to work harder. Honestly, seeing him be so successful.
I don't know if you watched Marty Hughes' podcast where he's doing the yak offs. If you haven't watched it,
Oh
it's pretty
yeah, I
cool
was
to
gonna
watch.
say something about that, dude.
Clayton,
I won.
he actually mentioned you though, Clayton, last night on that. Marty Hughes did.
Yeah, they did it. They said about that catch
About-
2025.
Yeah. And what were you saying, Deric? You won something on there?
That's what I was gonna say something about that. I won these bait covers from just watching the stream. They asked some questions. I won like these bait covers, and then I won one of those de-hookers, which I don't have yet, but I hope I never have to use the damn thing. But I'll have a de-hooker if anybody gets a hook stuck in their hand. Supposedly those things work like magic, but
I've seen the videos. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
A
But yeah,
doctor
it's
invented them,
definitely-
actually.
definitely worth watching the podcast because, dude, they're giving away all kinds of prizes. And plus, if you vote, you can vote every single week on the not to mention those guys, some of those guys' kayaks are just freaking insane. The crap that they do to them, man, like it's nuts. But the grand prize for you get to vote every week, and the grand prize is you get to pick any Malone trailer that you want, and it's free to vote. You just vote, and then they're going to draw names, and there's a bunch of prizes at the end of the contest. But the main big prize is any Malone trailer that you want. I'm like, I'm voting every week. Hell,
On the line will get there someday. We can offer prizes. I'm giving away this used lure.
Found on the bank.
It's missing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Box of muddy lures with rusty hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny story. I was leaving the awards ceremony, and I was coming down onto the dam, and I see lure, and I'm like, man, there's lures all over the road. Heck yeah! So I pull over, and I see Clayton's brake lights. I was like, oh, it must be Clayton's. So I picked up a bunch of lures and handed them to him. But yeah, that's always a sucky day when you look back and your box is open and all your stuff.
Dude.
Well, I guess it was on your kayak, wasn't it?
Yeah, my because it's just a toolbox, a rolling toolbox, and there's like a couple plastic pins that hold the top compartments shut. And one of them must have rattled out at some point. So when I was going across the dam, they came apart, and that back hatch flipped open, and I didn't even see that happen. I just noticed in my mirror all of a sudden I seen stuff flying across the road, and I wasn't sure what in the world I was seeing. And then I looked in my mirror and I saw that back hatch sticking straight up in the air.
Didn't that happen at Cedar Bluff too?
Yeah, it
Lost
happened
some
at
days.
Cedar, but that time I think I just didn't get it shut all the way. But this time it actually, the whole pin was gone. Thankfully I have the old box in my garage, so I just pulled one of the pins out of that and put it into the box. But I'm probably gonna start ratchet strapping the thing.
Yeah, you get one of them like nylon like spider web net things that you can put over it or something.
Yeah. Yeah, those work really well. Say it's time to upgrade to a yak attack box.
Yeah, I need to just get an actual nice box. But
That's what I want to get.
They're pricey, man, but I tell you what, I'm so happy I switched that.
Somebody makes a knockoff version of it for like $70 or $80. So I need to try to remember who I saw.
Yeah,
had that.
I would come back around to
Jay.
Anything or club wise you think went really well?
I think, like Deric and Matt both said, everything went smooth. Quick updates on everything. Did get new people, which I've been doing this stuff for quite a while, and it seems like we lose more people than we gain usually. So I think we might have gained more than we lost this year.
I think our goal is to bring some people, try to bring some of those people back.
Yeah.
How do we get those people back? You know what I mean? That have left.
I think a lot of people just don't like to travel.
Yeah.
That
I
far.
thought you were gonna say don't like Deric. No.
No, just travel.
Hey, that's your problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we can get a couple people to come to one or two. I've got a couple things I got to work out some numbers and maybe get more people in. But yeah, it's trying to spread them out too, and going out west really far is great for everybody, or is great for Jay, but not for everybody else. So
yeah,
What do
don't go west for me. You can do whatever you want.
Clayton, what do you think? What do you think went really well?
I think I mean, I think it was ran really well. I think just also kind of keeping the peace between everybody. I know I used to run the Thursday night circuit with the boat guys around here in the Kansas City area. It gets tough. You're not going to make everybody happy, and just like we saw at Wilson, your decisions, you're not going to make everybody happy, even when it's the right decision. And we haven't had any big blowouts with anything. That's kind of what ended up to the ultimate demise of those tournaments. Was I just got tired of dealing with people crying about, they didn't like a decision that I made, even if it was what the decision that should have been made. And, or if, people who don't even hardly show up to any tournaments getting upset about a decision I was making about an upcoming tournament. And we just don't seem to have any of that kind of drama in the group. And it's just really nice. That's not what I'm here for. I don't think anybody is. I don't go fishing to have to deal with drama. That's what you go fishing to get away from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The only drama I want to have to deal with is whether or not I get a fish to the boat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very funny.
Joe had mentioned I was talking.
Tim feels attacked.
Well, that and Tony and I actually will go up to a person that's complaining with a bar of soap and a sock, and
Yeah.
they don't complain after that. So
Tim's the only one that's gotten it so far from me.
there's one time.
So Joe had mentioned that he's like, wow, I was talking to him after the kind of the award ceremony.
Joe Bailey.
You guys, yeah, Joe Bailey. He was really thought that just the camaraderie and the fun that we had with the award ceremony was really cool. And he mentioned how we kind of have a really good camaraderie going. We're all friends, and even though we don't always, not all of us win, hell, we're up.
What's up, buddy? And the next big fisherman.
Hi.
To all your friends are on a
coming
podcast.
for all of us.
Yeah.
We're keeping your dad on too late. We're sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You give me
So, yeah.
permission?
I think the best thing was we did have a lot of new anglers this year, which was really good. But yeah, we won't keep you on for too long. I wanted to go back to Doug's question about Kansans that are headed to LOZ for the big bass. I know I am. Tim is. Austin is. Todd, I believe, is still going. Matt, you decide not to go this year?
Yeah, I'm skipping out on that one this year.
Yeah. Clayton, you ever thought about going to it?
I would really like to, but with it just
Right after.
it's right after Cedar Bluff, and then I'm doing the Kansas Buddy Bass championship with John at Grand a few weeks after that. So it's a lot to try to fit in all at the same time. So
I'm at, I know. I was like, man, that's a lot with like Cedar Bluffs and then the Big Bass and Wilson Lake, and
I know.
since my work sending me to out of town the week of Cedar Bluffs, I won't be able to go. It's kind of like, okay, well that makes it makes it a little funner for Big Bass because I'm not. That's like the last tournament other than Cons I might do this year. So,
Well, the next two questions are pretty interesting that I'm excited to hear. So,
if you could pick the first lake, so you have choice of first lake next year, what would it be? Deric.
Me.
It's going to be around like April 10th. Let's just say April 5th to April 10th, somewhere around that time frame. Like
we're kind of anxious to see what everybody says because we're kind of stuck in a limbo here, deciding on. We don't want to maybe do Big Hill again, but
yeah,
it does fish better than the rest of them at that time of the year. But
Mark finally took out Clayton from the dynasty this year at Big Hill.
I was going for that three-peat.
I don't know, man. That's a tough.
It really
one.
is.
I'm down to fish anywhere, honestly. I think all the lakes are like just up and down, hit or miss. Like you can fish a lake in the spring one year and then go back there the next year and it completely sucks that same exact day that you go there. It's just, I don't know.
So-
I'm open for anything.
So Hillsdale's
honestly.
cooler than you?
Hillsdale?
I'd fish Hills. It's 30 minutes up the street. I'll sleep in and then go fish.
Got an awesome spinnerbait bite in April.
It fishes well in April, for real?
I don't
Does?
know. I don't fish there, but Clayton does.
I've got some good videos from.
If you want to lose to Clayton
Yeah.
again, put Hillsdale
I
on
mean,
there.
we usually do. So, I mean, if everybody else can have fun, then
Maybe we'll go to the reverse and do his home lake, and that way I'll throw him off.
yeah. I mean, seriously, it's something to think about. I was just joking, but
I was thinking like a Lake Shawnee / Lone Star Lake.
yeah, that was
Road
my
runner.
idea. So,
Mm,
I think the reason we don't want to do a road runner is just because it's the first one, and then. But I mean, also, honestly, everybody pretty much showed up for the award ceremony, no matter where we went this year. So it'd have to be two lakes, and they'd have to be pretty close and very similar if we were going to do a road runner.
do Kritzer or in Mound City.
Thought about that too. So
In April, it's actually I've caught some big ones out there in April.
I mean, you're not wrong. So I was thinking the last tournament Roadrunner, like where we did Perry, like September, something that is a little less affected after the holidays, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a thought. That's why I was asking that question earlier. But
Roadrunners are good in the summertime when the lakes get busy.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking.
You could always catch fish in them little lakes.
I'm just not a fan of Roadrunners, man. I just like the fact that everybody is fishing the same water that I'm fishing, and then when I get my ass kicked, I feel a lot better about it.
Yeah,
I think we need to do a dink Roadrunner and have one at Leavenworth and one at Douglas.
Oh, jeez.
that's what we could do.
Yeah.
That's a
MLF
level
style.
playing field right there.
The most fish win. Just add them up.
Nobody wants to judge 112 inches, but
You don't have to judge the top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So,
it's just all you got to do is go out there and catch one 18-incher because they're in both of those lakes. But
mhm.
Matt, what about you? What do you think for a first lake?
It seems like it's always been the strip pitch or big
Mhm.
hill. So, I mean, Melbourne always seems to be good for us. But, yeah, I mean, Perry, Hillsdale, yeah. It's always fun doing something different.
I like something different too.
Well, it's always warmer south too, so that's I think why the South
Right.
lakes always get picked first. so.
Lacine. There we go. Those are
What
first
about
time.
El Dorado? Is
That
that
was gonna
place
be
good
my
in the
suggestion.
spring?
El Dorado.
What's that?
No.
It can
I
be
don't know. It can be.
if you can get up a creek.
Yeah. What about you, Jay? Would you say El Dorado then for your first one?
No, I don't really care. I'd say southeast is just tradition, but I mean
Yeah.
somewhere that has smallmouth is good early too. It seems like, and
Yeah.
I don't really care. I don't think it makes much difference.
Clayton?
Yeah, I mean, my pick would be Lacine if you were going to do it. That would be about the best time of year to do it because you can catch them anywhere on that lake that time of year.
Really?
You run into the issue though, like
Just
if
don't do lacine in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, you run into the risk that there's a big storm or something rolling through there. And would you consider it to be still safe after that?
After Wilson? Yes.
I
No.
mean, you run into that risk at any lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big Hill's been pretty bad in the past. That's what made me think of that.
Yeah, if it gets windy and rough anywhere, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Wolf Creek, first place. No.
You can't put a
Well-
kayak on there.
No, it's rough. As a
Anything-
state.
Well,
Yeah.
lacine, if it's rough, you can just launch in the creek. But
Yeah.
You've got the creek, you have the north ramp, the marina ramp, and you also have a dirt ramp you can launch down by the dam. So
And there's
It has
enough for like 30 people to fish there? Enough stuff?
oh yeah, I mean we've had 24 people out there, no problem.
That's something to consider then for sure. They got cabins out there too you can stay at, I believe.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Okay.
Anything we you hope to see added next year that we didn't already do? Like not necessarily a specific time.
I'd like to go out of state. I think we should look at Oklahoma or Missouri or something and then just try one or two and just see how many people show up.
Yeah, I didn't do the Flint Hills, so I wouldn't know.
That was the first year I did them. We started at Flint Hill or started at Lacine. I had 94 inches.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nice.
Anything you'd like to see next year, Deric? Any lake you're like, yeah, your favorite, or is there one that you or a new one? Do you want to see?
No, I just like fishing. I'll fish anywhere. Even if I say like El Dorado, I freaking hate that lake because I skunked there, but I caught fish last time. So I mean, I really want to go back. I seen Jay catch that giant smallie. Tim caught a giant smallie. I mean, I know they're in there, so it's just one of those things that just drives me to want to go do better at that lake. That's why.
Yeah.
So I
I
wouldn't
agree.
mind going to El Dorado again, just because I got unfinished business at that lake. I got to go catch them there. But what about the team thing? Like, I know the teams was like before we used to pick teams,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know. I think I'd suggested it to somebody else that we did random teams, and then we did that, and like it's been working pretty good. But I was thinking about it the other day. What if we did random teams and picked teams? Like if you had a teammate, like say like Tim and Tony, you guys could be teammates, and then if Tony couldn't show up to the team, then Tim can just enter the random draw. We have random draw, and you could pick a teammate if you wanted to pick a teammate. Just do both,
What we should do is we should do the team picker at the end of the award ceremony. Like
or
a random
or
team
do a
at the end.
year-long team event. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Add up your best 5 fish from every tournament you fished.
Or just
Yeah.
placement. Whoever
Or like
finished.
every month,
Yeah.
your best 5 every month or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just trying to think of things to change it up, just to keep it different.
Yeah,
I like the
random.
random draw team thing, but also I'd like to pick a teammate sometime too. That'd be kind of cool. Now that I'm actually like
year
know
long. I was
people.
waiting for Neil to say that after the Heartland.
It depends on how much Clayton costs to be my teammate.
Yeah.
So if we sign Neil up and buy him a membership, will he fish our tournaments?
Yeah.
Neil, I'll pay for your membership if you come fish with us.
Oh, it's on video.
Yep. I'll pay for your membership if you come fish with us.
Tim's sponsoring a membership.
No excuses. No excuses, sir.
I've got a couple of people I'm working on getting a fish too. My buddy John that I boat fish with,
Yeah.
he bought himself a 120 PDL also. He bought 2 of them actually, but I'm hoping he'll join us next year at least for a couple of them.
Yeah, he's a super nice dude too, so we'd like to have
Is
him.
he gonna bring his son with him too?
That's what I'm hoping. Jackson's was the one that wanted the kayaks in the first place, and John was interested in them also. But I think he really wants to get a trolling motor before he starts doing it. But I told him you can fish the smaller lakes, no problem.
I've got a brand new NK I'm thinking about selling. NK 300, brand new with a battery, everything ready to go.
Yeah, Neil, we'd love to have you back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Matt, we're on to Matt. What about Matt? What would you like to see added next year? A lake that you'd like to see on there, maybe, or 2?
I just like how we, switch lakes from the different time of years. That way we're not fishing the same lake in the spring all the time or the same lake in the fall all the time. So
Yeah.
But besides that, I'll show up and fish. So
Yeah. Todd and Austin and Tim and I sat down and Tim and I were like, oh, we don't want to do Big Hill again first. 2 years in a row. We don't want to do Melbourne last. So let's do Melbourne first.
We apologize about Wilson, but it actually turned out, I thought, really good.
I think a lot of people missed out. I mean, there was a lot of people that showed up that didn't do great because of Wilson's. It was really tough. And, but there's still some big fish in there. So
I think the wind was probably as big a factor as the fish were with people not catching fish, though.
Limited on spots.
You'd have people blanking a lot of lakes with that kind of wind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my spots that I wanted to go to were blown out, but Clayton went there anyway, so I should have just went over there.
Yeah, Tony actually and I fished that area for the what was it, Tony? The All American. So,
Yeah,
but I didn't catch anything like he caught. Mine were like that big.
yeah. It definitely varies from year to any lake does really in April. That's why it's like tough.
Jay, what about you? Any lake you'd like to see added?
I'd kind of like to see Norton added, but that's too far west for everybody,
Norton?
probably.
East Sibelius.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually asked Todd about that too. So
I mean, it's so far out there, you probably wouldn't have many people show up.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
You got
the
the
hours.
guys or something to go to.
I'd love to fish Norton. It's a long haul. I'd
We'll go out
probably
there,
go.
Clayton.
I'd probably go just because it'd be an excuse for me to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That'd be
Clayton,
a
sometime
good
we'll load all the stuff on my trailer and we'll head out there. I've never fished it either. It's on my list.
Cedar Valley would be another one. I don't know how many people you could put on it. Probably 15 or so, maybe 20. But that's a pretty good kayak lake.
Cedar Valley. Okay.
And it's got giants in it. It's not as good as it used to be, but
Yeah. Doug's coming. So we got 3
To
people
be
coming
honest,
out
I
there.
didn't hear anything you guys said for the last minute and a half.
He said the
Well,
Colorado,
we won't
maybe
tell
we'll
you.
get some,
Connection
maybe we get some of the
crapped out.
Colorado guys to come out and do it too, like we did with the Nebraska guys and stuff like that. So
Is it like a big Melbourne or is it Norton? Is it like a Glen Elder or is it like a Wilson? What is it? Fish like?
I don't know. It just looks good.
Does it? I didn't know if it was
It's
clear lake,
it's a
dirty lake.
largemouth. It's a largemouth lake. I think semi-dirty.
yeah, it is.
It's not a big lake, but I think it's got enough to put people on.
Okay.
it's supposed to have the best bass population, best largemouth population of any reservoir in Kansas.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah, that might be something we could put in the.
I
I
heard,
think we need to do a poll of all the lakes and then just have people vote on them to see what they want to go.
I
fish.
don't think it has the giants, but it's supposed to have good quality fish still. Some 4, 5, and 6 pounders.
Are you guys talking about Norton?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've been wanting to fish that one and the one Neil's talking about. Mozingo.
Is it big enough to have 30 or 40 anglers in Munzingo?
Yeah, Mazingo's plenty big. It's 1,000 acres. It has a
Yeah.
ton of tournaments though, so that would be
Yeah.
the only problem there. It's the only thing up there. You have to have a special day use permit. I haven't fished it in a long time, but it used to be a regular one on the boat circuits that I'd fished. And I think you can buy it right there at the boathouse or bait shop or whatever it is. It's not anything crazy. It's like $5. But
so many places to go. So little time.
Yeah, I seen the results from the East Bassmaster or East Kansas Bass Club, whatever it is, that went out there to Mozingo. Dude, there were so many 6-pounders and 5-pounders. I was like, holy moly.
yeah, it's a fun lake. It does have a lot of grass and quite a bit of timber. And like
Seems
I said,
like it's loaded with 5s.
Anybody have any oppositions to Clinton Lake?
This fish is small.
I fished there
Deric,
for the sunflower. What would we do? I went to 3 of them there.
yeah.
And the
there's a
first
lot
2,
of-
I literally caught 2 fish. And both, I mean, I caught like a 17 or an 18 one time. And then the other time I caught like a 17 or 18 and like a small fish. But the third time I went there, I finally caught 3 bass. So, yeah.
I think it's like a Perry with less fish.
Screw Clinton.
Yeah. All right. So Clinton is officially on the roster for next year.
Hey, I'm up for the challenge, dude. I'd go back. I would.
Clinton doesn't fish that small. It's got fish in a lot of places. You got to find them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think in the 3-hour tournaments we were able
I've
to
only
go
fished
far enough.
by the marina, so
Yeah, and when you have to make sure you don't cast across your imaginary lines or anything.
Throwback.
Tony, should I go ahead and head to the next section to get this on?
Yeah, we've been having these guys on long
Yeah.
enough. But yeah,
one of the next questions we had, kind of Clayton, this will go to you. Would you like to see another 2-day championship at the end of the year, or is that too much? Would you like to go back to a 1-day? Because it seems like everybody goes home on Sunday if they're not doing good. So
I like the 2 days, but it doesn't really make a difference to me. I kind of feel like it's a little more of a, proving ground when you have to do it for 2 days.
Mhm.
Anybody can get on them for 1 day, and you catch a couple big fish, then that's all it takes for 1 day. But you get a couple good bites, and you have to go back out there the next day. You really got to be able to show that you can do it for 2 days, and
yeah.
if in that format instead of just the 1-day tournaments.
Another question we had come up was a 2-day tournament, one lake 1 day and one lake another day.
like Perry 1 day, Clinton the next day.
That's
like
exactly what Kansas Buddy Bass is doing. This next their next tournament is Clinton 1 day and Perry the next day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we had a championship for the Wyandotte County Wednesday Nighters. They had 1 day on Truman and 1 day on Lake of the Ozarks, and it's a pretty interesting deal because you're fishing, two close lakes that are kind of similar but completely different. So it really tests you and makes you, prove that you can go catch them.
Yeah, I agree with Neil. I mean, I agree with 2-day championship. I think the biggest thing is the last couple of years has just been really low turnouts for the 2-day championships.
Yeah.
We just want to get the pot bigger for you to take, Clayton.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually, I really like the barbecue, even though the wind was atrocious, and we pretty much lost half the food to the wind. But I thought it'd be cool. I don't know, just the thought that something like
I thought the Hornets were carrying it away.
Yeah, Hornets, but like
Scorpions, the Hornets,
I'm a second that was like a Sunday tournament where you get a pre-fish Saturday. So like if you really wanted to, you could pre-fish and not take any time off work too. Maybe like a Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know, just a thought. Or you could even go what's his name? Drew Gregory's league. He does like a 4 hour. You could fish 4 hours, like the 3 days prior, and then any 4 hours you want, and then you can go just like Saturday. So it's like 12 hours.
Deric, what about you? 2-day?
I like the 2-day championship, honestly, but I like that idea that Tony just said for the regular tournaments, like put the regular tournaments on Sunday. That way we could pre-fish Saturday, and I never got to take Friday off from work again.
Yeah.
I was just thinking
That'd be
championship,
awesome.
but I think a lot of
I'm just
people
saying, like,
struggle
the
with
regular.
Sundays too. With family stuff going on. So
Yeah.
Matt, 2-day or 1 day?
Either.
Okay.
Either for me. I like 2 days. Just more time on the water. So
Yeah.
I
Can't
think
complain about an
Heartland
extra day of fishing.
Yeah, I think Heartland does it where you can catch like all 10 fish on the first day, and so like if you do really good 1 day, then you can cull them out on the next day if you increase them or whatever. But I think they got set up a little bit different, so that might be something. That way, if a guy doesn't find them on the first day, but he finds them on the second day, he can cull out all 10 of his fish or whatever, just upgrade them all.
Oh yeah.
that's a cool idea.
Instead of 5 Saturday, 5 Sunday, do 10 fish total. But if you catch them all on Saturday, then on Sunday you can cull them out if you catch any bigger ones.
That way you're in panic mode on Sunday if some guy has 180 inches on Saturday. Yeah. That's good.
So
Jay, 1 day or 2-day?
I don't really care one way or the other. I do kind of like the 10 fish total, like Matt was just talking about, though. That way, I think less people would go home on Sunday if they had a chance of catching 7 of their fish on Sunday. Maybe,
I do like that. I do like that idea for sure. Or what about our practice fish? The fish we catch in practice, counting toward.
just the ones you lose on.
2 practice fish are allowed to carry over.
What about ones that get off? Can we count? No.
Yeah. long as you can make them.
If you got, as long as you got them on video, right?
Yeah. Clayton, do you have any big goals for 2026? You've already kind of hit every goal I think that we all strive for.
Be like Clayton.
Yeah.
No, not really. I just go into it every year, just going out and trying to fish and have fun, doing my best. I don't know. Every time I'm on the water, I see it more as a competition between me and the fish. I don't really worry so much about everybody else on the water, and I'm just trying to figure the fish out.
Yeah.
You
Deric?
think fish ever go? I got him this time.
Yeah. No.
They do sometimes. They beat me bad at Milford.
Deric, what about you?
I mean, my only goal is probably to just improve overall and maybe win a championship, since I didn't win a KK one last year or this year. So next year I'm trying to win the championship. And then if I'm lucky and I can ever get off to a good start and not get like a 14th or an 8th place off the rip, maybe I can go for Angler of the Year. That'd be nice. But yeah, that's far-fetched.
No, you never know.
Just
When it's your time, it's your time.
Get
man.
my fish in
That's
the
it.
net, you know.
Yeah. You can ask Tony. I actually bought a catfish net, and I was going to bring it to Wilson. It was the same size as my kayak. I mean, this thing's like this big around, and I didn't bring it.
You could have just put it up and it would have blown you. Put something on it.
It's a monster. So, Matt, what about you? You got any goals for 2026?
Just fish better. So did good the first tournament. Then after that, I don't know, it just went downhill from there. It seemed like till the end when we went out to Wilson.
Yeah. Jay, any major goals for beat Clayton and
beat Clayton would be good, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I always just try to be somewhat consistent, try to catch a limit, but maybe change that up and swing for the fences and be okay with 2 fish type of thing instead. I think that's the only way you can beat Clayton's, to not worry about a limit, just go for a win.
throw a 9-inch glide bait the whole time?
Yeah.
Net rig.
Yeah. Tony, what about you? You have goals for next year?
Well, I was gonna say get Angler of the Year, and beat Deric. Him and I are usually neck and neck. Like he'll win one, I'll win one. So, but no, I did surprisingly better than I thought I would, considering I had a couple bad tournaments in Angler of the Year. So which kind of, after realizing I tied, I didn't even realize I tied with Joe. I was like, damn, if we would have went out on day 2, maybe I could have beat him, gotten up 1 point. But it's all good. So he had a hell of a year. So I think just get top 3 in Angler of the Year next year. That would be my goal.
Yeah.
So
nice. And I'd say just get a win for myself. I don't care about Angler. I don't care about anything. I just gotta get a win for KK. So,
I got to get a GoPro. I think that's one of my goals.
You know what?
This
I will give you my GoPro 4 Hero.
Man, I keep hearing all this. I got 2 friends that keep saying they're going to give me a GoPro. Clayton said I should borrow one of his.
Give you my GoPro 4.
Let's go.
I'll give it to you. Like 3 extra batteries, I will hook you up.
Dude, I used to have 2 GoPro, like literally like $800 worth of like extras and 2 GoPros, and I sold it all for like $250 one time randomly because I just didn't want to mess with it anymore. And now I do tournaments. I'm like, damn it, why didn't I keep that? But like when I would just go out fun fish, I had one like on the front of my boat facing me, and then I'd have one on my hat or on my chest, and then I'd put it on a pole every once in a while. But I just got sick of messing with it. I'm like, I'm just going out fishing. Like, why do I need to film this? Like, it's just a waste of time. But now that I'm doing tournaments, now I want to film it. So
Tim is actually very generous tonight,
I don't know.
offering to buy people's memberships, giving away free cameras.
So in regards to that, I got a question for you guys, since you guys are about the top 6 in here. So when it comes to a big fish, like let's say a 4 or 5 pound largemouth, smallmouth, what do you guys find to keep the fish pinned or pegged? You guys keep reeling the whole time? like when they jump, or do you like panic like I do? I mean, what's your strategy when you get a giant? Just not
I
panic.
use
Or Deric, go
CNC
ahead.
bait hooks.
Yeah. That's it.
He's trying to get a sponsor
Yeah,
for 2026. That's
trying to
his
get that
goal.
sponsor when Clayton's company blows up.
Yeah. Clayton's already sells them at great
Clayton-
No, his
discounts.
Ned heads are awesome, man. Like
Yeah.
they're a little bit light wire hooks compared to the ones that I used to use a lot, but I feel like I get good hook sets with them, and I keep fish pinned. I mean, but as far as what
I
you're
found the
saying,
key-
Tim,
Yep, I found the key on those is the lighter the Ned head, the better I do. I can float it over the rocks
Really?
and float it over everything. Yeah. So the lighter I feel, the lighter, the less snags you get, and you can feel the bite better. But that's just my opinion. But Clayton,
I like
what do you think about hooking
I
a
like
big?
a 1 ounce head for my Ned rigs.
Like I even noticed when you got that 1925, you just kind of was just calm, collected, and you you took care of it. So it
Yeah,
didn't seem like you guys missed many fish, I guess is what I'm saying.
I just try to stay calm, try to keep them under control. I don't try to. I see people get a little crazy with moving the rod back and forth, trying to
Yeah.
lead the fish too much. I think I try to kind of let them tell me where they want to go and just work off of that. I don't want to move that bait around too much in their mouth and help tear a hole in their mouth and try to work the bait free. But really, I think it's trying to stay calm as much as I can. And unfortunately, you're going to lose some. It's just part of the deal. But I don't know. I've kind of switched to a little more premium hooks this year on some of my stuff, and I think that's helped me not lose some also. But I lost 3 before I caught that 1975, and I lost 1 right before that, and then I lost 2 more after that. So it happens. Thankfully, none of those ended up mattering. But
Yeah.
do you guys feel like keeping spot lock on when you're fighting a bigger fish helps, or do you let off, let the spot lock go and just drift while you
I let
reel
that
the fish
sucker
in?
go.
You drift?
I turn my
Depends how windy it is.
Yeah.
Like, or where I'm at. If I'm gonna go right into a bank, then I'll keep it
Yeah,
on. But 9 times out of 10, I shut it off.
Yeah, if they're just digging below me, a lot of times, like I just leave spot lock on and fight the fish right there. But like if they start like trying to like go the other way and like get behind me and all that, then I just unspot lock and I just let the boat float with, and I just make sure you keep the rod bent.
At
No
10 killer, I
slack
had
on
a 4-pound largemouth go right into my trolling motor and get wrapped around my trolling
Yeah, that's
motor.
what I'm always afraid of, man. Ever since I've gotten that
It
trolling,
was flopping around like this.
it hasn't happened yet. But I'm just always afraid that they always try and get out of that trolling motor, and I'm like, no.
Yeah. So I have a panic attack and I just hit off. And
Well, what else?
Yeah.
so,
Who else, Tim?
Matt, what about you? How do you handle a big fish? Like
I just
74?
watch your videos, Tim, and do the opposite.
Yeah, I'm gonna invent like a wire that goes out in your line that just has attached to a little battery. Just shock them just so I can get them in and call it good. So
Are you sitting down, Clayton, when you get your fish in, or are you standing up, or does it matter?
doesn't really matter. I used to try to stand up when I hooked a good one. I felt like I could fight them a little better, but then I got to where I lost a couple when I was trying to stand up, and I just would lose pressure on them. So I just stopped trying to mess with it. It's whatever I'm doing when I hook them. That's what I'm going to be doing when I land them.
okay. Jay, what about yourself? Because you've been on a lot of big fish.
Do you miss that many fish, Jay?
No, I really don't lose that many big ones.
Really?
I mean, everybody loses some, but I really don't lose that many. Just keep pressure on them. Don't stick
And
your
what
net
kind
in
of
the
hooks do
water
you
if you're
use?
netting them. whatever's on the jig I'm using.
Well, dynamite.
No, I don't keep pressure on them. I don't know. Like casting reels, if they're big fish that's pulling hard, my drags are almost always locked. I just, thumb the spool, release, hit the thumb bar and thumb the spool and kind of feel from that, keep pressure on them, then reel back in or whatever. Spinning rods, sometimes I'll just keep reeling the whole time with the drag slipping and just keep pressure on them that way. But I don't know, just keep pressure, but not too much pressure, I guess. And like Clayton was saying, if you're sitting down when you hook it, stay sitting down. If you're standing up, probably stay standing up if you can. It's just that, 2 foot of movement from setting to standing's a chance you're going to lose pressure.
All right. Well, Tony, on that, I'll let you take it over then go ahead and do final thoughts.
We probably kept you on here longer than you wanted to be,
sorry about
but we love talking about it, and thank you guys for coming on.
And feel free to stay around for 5 minutes after the show too, if you want. So
yeah, I know Clayton, you always shout out your sponsors, but you feel free to do it again if you want.
Kistler rods and the Heo sunglasses are the only ones right now. I'm hoping for Old Town. I submitted my application to them this last weekend, so I'll find out about that next month. And then my CNC custom baits, and that's
Blue Basser 86, everybody.
My YouTube channel. If anybody likes the online fishing forums, bassresource.com. I'm a moderator on there. If you've never checked it out, it's a pretty good place to get on. Get on.
I bet Doug's writing that down right now if he wasn't already aware of it.
I've been on there for over 10 years now, and been on moderator for quite a while. It's the biggest bass fishing forum on the internet, so it's a good place to go and bounce information off other people, especially people are different parts of the country, so you can get different perspective and opinions. And
cool. Well, thank you. Deric, other than me, myself, and I.
Let's plug that Kansas Kayak Angler gear. Go pick that up. I got my new hoodie, dude. I like that. No, I don't have any sponsors, man, but I'm just going to say congrats to Clayton on such a insane year again. Everybody, Matt on his monthlies, Jay killing it like usual, everybody. And CNC custom baits, since I'm on the team now, right? Yeah, man, I honestly can't wait till next year, dude. I have so much fun fishing these tournaments. Good memories. Get to hang out with cool people that are, like-minded, love fishing. That's what it's all about.
Clayton would actually charge for his baits. He could probably do some sponsorships. They're so reasonably priced.
I know they are
on
good
the team
price.
now, Clayton. Yeah.
I do need to get some of those bladed jigs because I still haven't tried those yet. Well, no, I did get the micro one, actually. The micro one kills it. I like that one. But I want to get a couple of the bigger ones.
His bladed jigs are legit. Some of the best I've seen. That's no joke.
Yeah.
That's no asking for spot. I mean, they're
I like that micro one a lot.
Yeah.
There's not many of those out there.
Yeah.
I need a couple different colors though. I'll have to talk about that.
Matt, what about you? You got any final sponsors, shout outs, anything?
Just want to thank the guys, who are behind the scenes, submitting for lake permits, doing the fish judging, getting things organized, putting the results out there, turning on the notifications. I know it takes a lot of work that we don't recognize a lot, but it happens. Then also, shout out to Kevin for the awards. He kills it every year with what he comes out with. And I know that's one of my biggest things is, just try to place in an event where I can get one of his awards that he has created, just because he does such a great job on them. So.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got one.
Goals. My only goal was to get one of those this year. I actually ended up with 4. So 3 of them were from Milford, and the other one was last weekend. So pretty cool. Yeah, and he's a heck of a guy too. To give a shout out to Kevin. He takes in donations and stuff to help. He's having doing stuff down south where he's working with special needs kids and fishing and like building stuff and working on building rods and stuff like that. It's really, really cool stuff he does. He does a lot of that stuff down there. He's a great guy. So, Jay, any final thoughts from you?
Not really. Just thanks everybody for helping and showing up and fishing, and
Yeah.
Matt for calling me on my way to Wilson so I didn't go launch, and I would have been on the water or getting ready to be on the water probably before I even looked at my phone.
Now, Clayton, I did see you post the fish on day 2. Come on, man.
What's up with that?
I looked on there, I was
Hey,
like, 99 inches. What did I miss yesterday?
I almost posted a couple too, just to be funny.
I actually wanted to go deny it. I forgot about it because I was driving home, but I was checking to see if anybody was on there submitting fish that like didn't respond or we didn't call and they thought we were still doing it. So, and I was like, "What, really, Clayton?" I was like, "Oh, I got to deny one of Clayton's fish. That never happens. I'm going to do it."
Yeah, I caught a couple of them while we were fishing for the bait there, and I thought I submitted it to the Catch 2025, and
yeah,
I thought that the championship would have been grayed out, so I couldn't even select it, but I guess not. I didn't even realize that I clicked on it, but I went back through my notifications, and there it was.
He just put a little salt in the wound from the day before.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought maybe you're just trying to see 100 inches or something. I don't know.
I guarantee you I wouldn't have submitted that 10 1/4. I'd have submitted the 18 that I caught before that one.
Well, thank you everybody for being on. Thanks to all the 2025 sponsors. We're going to be going after sponsors for 2026 here in the next couple months and see if we can keep the ones we have and add some new ones. I'll be reaching out to some of those, see what we can do for 2026. And if anybody knows anybody they can think of, I mean, it doesn't have to be fishing related, right? Like it can be, it'd be cool to have like somebody that sponsors coffee or beer or whiskey specifically.
Is Biz Baits going to sponsor next year too? Because dude, I've gotten a bunch of baits free at those awards. And those Biz Baits are actually awesome, man. I just started like using them a lot this year, in like those 4-inch worms, the wacky rigged, and then I started using those Ned Dizzies with that little like diamond head or tail on them. And I mean, I probably have 50 bags of plastics from them, and I've only used like a couple bags. And I got spinner baits, jigs, like all kinds of, I just started using them, and dude, I actually like them a lot.
Yeah, we got a couple new ones this year, sponsors.
Good quality.
Some returning, some new, and so shout out to all the sponsors who helped us out this year and at least gave us discount codes and things like that. So it's fun. For me, it gives me that sense of running a business. I like that kind of stuff, but like I don't make any money, so it's actually like I'm really running a business. So it gets my need to do crafty stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of fun this year. We're looking forward to 2026, see what we can do.
Absolutely.
And thanks everybody for joining us and staying on for a long time, and all the people watching going, wow, they're still on. Yep.
Some people's kids have already graduated. And
Clayton, Jay, Matt, Deric, Tim, thanks everybody. Thanks for sharing your stories. Thanks for giving the new guys out there some advice. We'll let you know when we come out the schedule, and we will see you next time on the Line. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, guys.